welcome to the NCAA Baseball Championships presented by Capital One. Another gorgeous night down on the Bayou for Game 7. A winner-take-all game between Little Rock and LSU, a 4-seed against a 1-seed. Last night, Little Rock shocked the college baseball world, upsetting LSU here in Baton Rouge, 10-4, forcing this Game 7. They had to win a couple of games yesterday, took down a very good Dallas Baptist team to get to the regional final, and then upset LSU last night. LSU kind of self-destructed, if you will, forcing this Game 7. And welcome, Dave Neal, my man, Ben McDonald. We have been together attached at the hip now for like 4 days. Feel like we're almost married, buddy, but it's been fun.
A lot of time at the ballpark, Dave Neal, but I've enjoyed it as usual hanging out with you. It's been a great regional, And look, when you talk about Little Rock, you're talking about a team, man, playing with house money.
Yeah.
You know, wasn't supposed to be here, man. Here they are. But, see, nobody told them that they weren't supposed to win, and here they find themselves in the regional finals.
All right, so LSU, obviously, first 2 games, fantastic. But what do you make of LSU this entire weekend as we look at this Game 7?
Well, it's kind of what we thought. The first 2 games, run prevention has been off the charts for LSU this year. They have been outstanding. One of the best pitching staffs they've had in a very long time. Anthony Ianson, of course, Anderson has led the way. 1A and 1B, they were outstanding. Combined 18 strikeouts, only 3 walks. Neither one of them allowed a run. But yesterday was a different story. LSU gives up 10 runs to Little Rock yesterday. They had 11 walks yesterday, and 8 of those 11 walks would come around to score.
That is a killer. Meanwhile, Zach Calman's going to get the baseball today.
Been a reliever all year long, 20 appearances. He's been their best reliever, but this role is not unfamiliar to him. Last year at Wofford, he made 17 starts and pitched in a regional as well, and so he's kind of at home in that starting role.
All right, Little Rock, let's face it. When they ended the regular season, they had 19 wins. They had a 243 RPI. They lost 13 of their last 14 regular season games. All Coach Chris Curry wanted was them to have a chance in the postseason. They snuck into the OVC tournament, won 5 straight games. They've now won 8 of their last 9, and here they sit. Just 1 win away from going to a Super.
Yeah, I tell you what, they were shut out in Game 1 by LSU, but how about 40 runs in their last 3 games? And the 7-0 hitter, Angel Cano. It has been the Cano show at the Baton Rouge Regional. He has gone off, Dave Neal. 8 for 15, 3 home runs, 3 doubles. And how about those 14 RBIs? Nobody in regional play this year has more RBIs than he did. And look, he is doing it at the bottom of the lineup in that 7-hole, and that's one of the biggest reasons why Little Rock is where they are and a chance to be super with just 1 more win.
It'll be the 3rd meeting here in Baton Rouge between these 2 teams. Winner going to the Supers. First pitch coming up.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
Get a taco to go plus a big Q for $2.99.
Taco to go, taco to go. Taco to go, taco to go. Taco to go, taco to go. And a big Q and a big taco. Taco to go, taco to go.
QT, more than a
Taco.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2, 3. Woo!
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Here we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this, come on.
And it all adds up to one membership. The Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
With USPS Ground Advantage, it's like you're with us every step of the way.
right on time.
Stay in the know from your dock to their door.
The WNBA on ESPN. We can't get enough.
The Women's College World Series on the networks of ESPN.
Looking at the Intimidator out in the right field bleachers area overlooking Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field, the Little Rock Trojans and the LSU Tigers. LSU will be the visiting team again. It's based on whoever has not been the home team, or who has been the home team the fewest will be the home team in this Game 7, and that is Little Rock. So for the second consecutive night, LSU will hit first. Derek Curiel, though, he has found it at the plate after a little bit of a sluggish start. He's been a real go-getter at the top of this lineup this week.
Yeah, and look, for me, he's the igniter. When he's getting on base in front of the others behind him, Ethan Fry, Milam, and company, that's what kind of kickstarts this offense. And you're right, he's been really good. 6 for 11 in these 3 regional games. He's hitting .545. And that lineup's going to face the senior right-hander, Blake Van Cleve, making his 25th appearance of the year, only his 2nd start of the year. Yes, Little Rock is going to use some pitchers that have pitched already in this regional. This is Van Cleve's 3rd appearance of this Baton Rouge regional, his 2nd, or his very first starting appearance, and that's his numbers on the year. 2-3 with a .573 ERA. He does have 3 saves, picked up 1 save in the regional just a couple of days ago. So don't know how long he's going to go, Dave, but he's out there for a while. They're hoping to get him through the lineup one time.
Derek Curiel will lead things off, the true freshman left fielder out of West Covina, California. 5:45 clip here in this Baton Rouge regional.
That's kind of where you're going to see Blake Van Cleve's fastball. Not going to light up the radar gun. It's going to be 86. He'll show you a 90 occasionally. Probably his curveball is his best secondary pitch to go along with that changeup and cutter.
Popped him up straight up in the infield. Here's the third baseman, Ty Rhodes, in foul territory, and he'll make the catch. 1 down. And there is a change in this lineup, and really it's an adjustment. They had been set with Jared Jones in that 2-hole for a long time this season, but Jared's struggling a bit, so Ethan Fry slides up. Stephen Milam also moves up a little bit. Dickinson into the 4-hole. Jake Brown, and then Jared Jones is hitting 6th tonight.
Yeah, and you know, Jared's been struggling a little bit. So Jay Johnson, head coach for LSU, decided to push him down a little bit and take the guys that have been really hot. Ethan Fry, Milam's been really good. Dickerson's been really good all year long. And so just shaking it up a little bit, and sometimes a shakeup works.
Ethan Fry hitting .342. He has slipped to number 2 in this lineup in terms of the team's top batting average. He was and had been for a while their top hitter in terms of average. He will look at a strike there. It's 2-1.
And if you're LSU, you got to push that fastball down from Blake Van Cleve. He likes to pitch up in the strike zone. He'll be right at the top of the zone, but you got to push him down to get a more hittable pitch.
That one's up in the zone. Fry just 2 for 12 in this Baton Rouge regional, a 133 clip. Has 1 RBI. He has walked 3 times, but struck out 4 times. Hit high in the air. Deep, deep, deep to left field. Gone.
Well, if you're LSU, Dave Neal, that's how you want to get the party started right there. The big fella, all 6'6", 225 pounds of him. His 13th long ball of the year, his 42nd 6th RBI, folks. And I'm going to tell you what, there's 216 stitches on a baseball, and I think he just covered every one of them. That ball left the entire ballpark.
Well, we thought Angel Cano hit a big one yesterday.
That
off
was
the scoreboard, but that one may have surpassed it.
That was a moon ball. I didn't think that one was ever going to come down.
Well, here's Stephen Milam, and that one misses up. Stephen Milam hitting third today at 292. Just told that ball left here off his bat at 107 miles an hour.
That was a big ball. I kept watching for it to land, and I finally saw it. It cleared everything. It took one big hop back there.
Popped up left side. Shortstop Seguin calls everybody off. 2 down.
Well, I tell you, Ethan Fry got a pitch he can handle. 3-1 count, sitting on a fastball, and he got one just above the belt. Looks like a pop-up off the bat, but you realize this kid right here is 6'6", 225. Sometimes pop-ups leave the ballpark, and he knew it when he touched it. He had home run number 13 on the year. There it is, plumb out. There's the big hop back there.
Two down now for Daniel Dickinson.
LSU got out first last night against Little Rock. Got 3 in the first, but Little Rock came storming back.
Dickinson has reached base in 17 straight games, hitting 273 this weekend. He's 3 for 11, but 2 of those 3 hits are home runs. No swing. He went back-to-back home runs, back-to-back at-bats. Not a lot of power arms in this Little Rock pitching staff. It's all about them throwing strikes and being around the plate and hitting their spots. That one's popped up in foul territory. Rhodes will give way to Seguin, and he'll make the catch right up against that netting. But a big blast off the bat of Ethan Fry.
Boy, take a look at this, folks. This is how you want to make a statement right here. Go up there and get you one, kid, and boy, he got that one. LSU 1-0 after the top of the first.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
This Friday, the greatest action franchise reloads. Rated R.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
Get a taco to go plus a big Q for $2.99.
Taco to go, taco to go. Taco to go, taco to go. Taco to go, taco to go. And a big Q and a big taco to go, taco to go.
QT, more than a
taco.
With USPS Ground Advantage, it's like you're with us every step of the way.
Right on time.
Stay in the know from your dock to their door.
Ethan Fry lead at 1-0 over Little Rock as we move to the bottom of the first inning. This is a lineup that has not been bashful with the bats this weekend. It helped propel them to this Game 7 regional final. Alex Seguin will lead things off. The shortstop, Zach Henry, hitting second. Ryan Geck, the designated hitter, hitting .298. Ty Rhodes leads the team with 9 homers and 44 runs batted. And Cade Martin, the true freshman behind the plate. Cooper Chaplin. There's Angel Cano. Don't mess with things, right? If you keep winning, Most would have him moving up in that lineup, but he'll just be in his comfort zone tonight, followed by Sammy Harris and Reed Wilbanks.
Well, head coach Chris Curry told us both before the game, if it ain't broke, I'm not going to fix it. And there ain't no sense in fixing it right now because Little Rock has been on a roll. On the bump for LSU, Zach Cowan making his 21st appearance of the year, but his very first start of the year. Out of Blythewood, South Carolina, played his first 2 years of collegiate ball at Watford University, transferred to LSU, and boy, he has been really, really good for the Tigers. Leads them with 6 saves on the year. First appearance since May the 15th. Did not pitch in the conference tournament, but boy, you want to talk about an outstanding changeup. The fastball, 89 to 91, but the difference maker for him is that changeup.
So Seguin will step in there to lead things off, and first pitch he sees fouls it straight back.
Zach Cowan, if he's on his game, he is a strike thrower. 45 in the third so far this year, only 10 walks to go along with 53 strikeouts. So a 5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, which is outstanding.
This Little Rock team hitting .275 for the season, but here in this Baton Rouge Regional, they are hitting .326. And that one misses inside. You know, there won't be a whole lot of patience in that dugout, or I should say, or in the crowd tonight if LSU can't find the strike zone after what happened last night with 11 walks.
To say LSU scattered it would be an understatement after last night.
Milam, crossover to Jones, and that'll be out number 1.
Yeah, this Little Rock team, they were shut out in game 1 of this Baton Rouge Regional by LSU, but since then they put 40 runs on the scoreboard. So the last 3 games they have averaged 10 runs per game.
40 runs in 3 games.
I'm telling you, and look, and the biggest part for me is they've done it with runners in scoring position. They came in hitting .285 this year with runners in scoring position, which is a pretty good number.
Yeah.
But they're 100 points better than that in this Baton Rouge. They're hitting .386 with runners in scoring position in these 4 games.
Here's Zach Henry. Zach 7 for 17 with a home run, has a triple, 6 RBIs, and there's the big one right there. Angel Cano in the background waiting for his opportunity. But the last 3 games, those are just crazy numbers.
And look, it's been top to bottom. It has been 1 through 3, and 7, 8, 9. That lineup has done as much damage as any part of this lineup at all. Of course, when you got Angel Cano hitting back there in that 7 hole.
And Sammy Harris sitting right behind him. Sammy's actually leading the team in batting average this weekend. There's a base hit, shot through the left side by Henry. We've seen him do that a few times this weekend. Can really handle that bat.
Well, they went and got him some new sticks. They visited the Marucci factory right here in Baton Rouge, and they came away with a few toys, and they like those toys, to say the least. They have been swinging it since they got here.
Now batting for Little Rock, designated hitter number 27, Ryan Geck.
So Ryan Geck, the DH. The junior out of Long Beach, California. Transferred in from Long Beach City College. Spent a couple of years there. Second team all OVC performer in 2025. He had a big 3-run homer in a Game 3 win over Eastern Illinois.
Ooh. There it is. That's the difference maker right there. Like a yo-yo. Seems like it never gets to home plate. I mean, he really sells it because the fastball is 91, 92, and then it takes about 10 miles per hour off. But the key to it is that circle change. It looks just like the fastball coming, but it's about 10 miles an hour slower. Back to back. And you talk to hitters and they say you really can't pick it up because a lot of times with a circle change it'll spin a little bit differently than the fastball. When you talk to hitters that face Cowan, they'll say the spin looks just like the fastball coming.
Well, let's see if he does throw a fastball here. Another changeup out to left, and this one is caught by Curiel. That'll be out number 2. What do you think about throwing a pitch 3 straight times?
If it's that good, I mean, that's the thing. Normally, most pitchers' pitches aren't good enough to throw 3 in a row, but when you have a difference maker, and I'll give you an example. The average collegiate changeup is swung and missed about 32% of the time. His changeup is swung and missed 46% of the time, and that's why it's an above-average pitch. And when you have an above-average pitch, you can use it a little bit differently.
Now it's Ty Rhodes. 9 homers, 44 runs batted in, a .304 average. Ty, a junior, a third-year player at Little Rock out of Jonesboro, Arkansas. He's now making his 161st start of his Little Rock career. Been a starter since he set foot on campus. Fouls that one out of play. It's 0-2.
Yeah, this is a veteran team that head coach Chris Curry has. You look around, Will Banks, senior. Zach Henry in center field is a senior. Seguin's a senior. Cano's a junior. Rhodes is a junior. So it's a veteran club. They've been around a little bit.
Runner goes. Hernandez with a tough time getting that out of his glove. What an easy pitch to handle, but a stolen base for Zach Henry.
And Little Rock doesn't steal a whole lot of bases. Only 55 of them on the year, make it 56. Pretty good pitch to run on right there. Changeup's kind of fading down away from Luis Hernandez. Has a little bit of trouble getting up and getting it down there. First run of the night in scoring position for Little Rock.
Foul ball down the right side.
We talked about Zach Cowan making his very first start of the year. Now, he had 17 starts last year for Wofford, and I tell you what, he was outstanding. 10 wins, a .335 ERA, 110 innings pitched, man. He was a workhorse last year. Struck out 124 of those 110 innings pitched.
2-2. Rhodes leads this team in strikeouts. Trying to avoid that here with 2 strikes. Can't do it. Cowan with a 92-mile-an-hour heater ends the inning. LSU after 1 leads by 1.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
This Friday, the John Wick franchise keeps fighting. Rated R.
Savory, juicy, and hold up. It's got Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning? Nice. Crispy, zesty, ranchy perfection. Hidden Valley Ranch, only serious about flavor.
When businesses thrive, so do our communities.
My name is Oscar Zavaleta. I'm the principal for the Montes Group. I just knew that I wanted to be the person that made the decisions. Without Bank of America, the growth of our company would have been difficult. The way I look at it is Bank of America is one of my partners.
Unlock new possibilities for your business and community. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Contact one of our local business specialists at bankofamerica.com/local business.
Moving to the top of the second inning here in Baton Rouge. It is a 1-0 LSU lead. Game 7. Nothing like a Game 7. I don't care what sport you're in. A game deciding Game 7. Nothing like it.
You are right about that.
Jake Brown will lead things off against Blake Van Cleve. Jake out in right field again tonight, hitting .308 on the year with 7 home runs and 40 runs batted in. It will be Brown, Jones, and Chris Stanfield. 5, 6, and 7 due up for LSU in this adjusted lineup for Jay Johnson. Ground ball to the right side. Cano knocks it down but can't come up with the ball. He's made some stellar plays at first base this entire weekend, but couldn't come up with that one.
He has been so good on both sides of the ball. To the backhand side right here, an above average play. When he goes to slide right there, the ball just kicks out of his glove. And the way Jake Brown runs, he is the fastest runner on this LSU team. There was no chance once the ball was bobbled. The Little Rock was going to get him. Good start for LSU in the top of the second.
Jared Jones has really been trying to find something to cling on to in the batter's box since the SEC tournament. He's just 2 for 22, 10 strikeouts, 1 RBI, 1 walk, covering 5 games.
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy LSU needs to get going right here. 28 home runs last year, 19 so far this year. Was a draftable sophomore last year. A lot of people thought after hitting 21 long balls, he may not return to Baton Rouge. He decided to come back for his junior year.
Jake Brown over there at first base, 11 stolen bases on the year. Jones still leading this team with those 19 home runs and 67 runs batted in. That one's just off the plate. 2-1. Jared, 6'4", 246. The junior out of Marietta, Georgia.
Yeah, you talked about fill up a batter's box. And when Dave, when he gets into one, it's light tower power.
That one's out to center field. Zach Henry will move to his right a few steps and make the catch for out number 1. And here comes Chris Stanfield, another adjustment in the lineup tonight. Chris has been hitting in the 9-hole almost all season, but he moves up to the 7th spot. Chris, 318 on the year.
Yeah, the transfer out of Auburn.
It's 4 for 10 this weekend.
Yeah, he's had some really good at-bats. Hitting the ball to the backside of the field, letting that ball travel. He's got a big hole to work with on the right side. You see Angel Cano holding Jake Brown on, but look where the second baseman, Chaplin, he is almost right behind second base, so there's a big hole to the right side for Stanfield.
He hit his first home run as an LSU Tiger earlier this weekend. Right down the right field line. Just did clear the wall. 330 down the line. He hit it about 331 feet. Out to center field. Zach Henry on the run. Makes a diving catch. What a grab by Henry.
And that's about as hard as Chris Stanfield can hit a ball right there. But Zach Henry was up to the task right here. This is a line drive, folks, and he's playing deep. Watch it. Quickly drop steps and goes right up to catch that ball. Boy, if that ball gets by him, the way Stanfield runs, it is an easy triple and maybe more than that. An outstanding effort by Zach Henry out in center field.
Two down for Luis Hernandez. There's a strike, 1-1 to Luis. 265, 7 home runs, and 27 runs batted in. Luis, the senior transfer from Indiana State, where he spent 3 years.
Yeah, he had 23 home runs last year at Indiana State.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Welcome to Baton Rouge, everybody, as the inning comes to a close. It is Game 7 here between LSU and Little Rock, as the Little Rock Trojans have become quite the story here in this Baton Rouge Regional. The 4 seed came in with just 19, ended the regular season with just 19 wins. They rattled through the OVC Conference Tournament to win 5 games in 4 days to punch their ticket to postseason baseball at the NCAA level. And here they are playing in a Game 7 regional final against the LSU Tigers. Here's how it all happened. I mean, Little Rock had to win 2 times yesterday. They knocked off Dallas Baptist, the 2 seed, 8-6, then turned around and beat LSU last night. The final score was 10-4. It was certainly a big night for the Trojans. First ever NCAA tournament victory came this weekend. LSU, Ben, Dave Neal, by the way, Ben McDonald, glad you guys could join us. LSU, the first 2 games, looked like a team that had to be at the top of your list to win a national championship the way they played. But last night wasn't their night.
Yeah, I mean, the first 2 games, we talked about LSU's run prevention, right? The team ERA, the best since 2015, the best fielding percentage in LSU history. And it showed up the first 2 games, 2 shutouts. There's only been 4 shutouts thrown in all the regionals around the country. LSU's got 2 of them. But then last night, things changed a little bit. It got a little bit sideways. LSU's pitching staff walked 10. Or 11, actually, and 8 of those 11 would come around to walk. So they had to hit the reset button. And you know about baseball, you can't have scar tissue. You got to be able to flush it and move on to the next game. That's what LSU's trying to do. But Little Rock, man, I tell you what, they got shut out in Game 1. And everybody said, well, Cinderella's done. The dance was
nice
fun,
run.
but it's over. Well, guess what? 40 runs in their last 3 games. They won their last 3 games. And there's the head man right there, Chris Curry. And you talk about the job that he has done for the Trojans this year. Just outstanding. Good for that program. He's excited about where he is, and his kids are playing with house money, man, and they have been fun to watch in this regional.
They lost 13 of their last 14 regular season games. They came in with a 243 RPI out of 299 Division I teams, but he felt they were much better than that. Just some injuries along the way. You lose a little momentum. He said, we just need to get to the conference tournament, and they did. They got in as the 8th team of 8 that go to the OVC tournament. They win a tiebreaker to do that, and then they run the tables, and now they've won 8 of 9, and here we sit. And if you'd have had Little Rock taking on LSU in a regional final on a Monday night,
you need to head to Vegas right now.
This is not your
Buy
place.
you a lottery ticket, whatever you need to do.
Here is Cade Martin, a true freshman catcher. LSU leading this one 1-0. Cade Martin, 305 hitter on the year with 5 home runs and 31 runs batted in.
Yeah, Cade Martin, the only underclassman for the Trojans on the field right now. Just a freshman and a true freshman.
And there is a 4-pitch walk. Well, LSU's leading by 1, and this is how it happened, as LSU is actually the visiting team tonight.
Yeah, the big fella, Ethan Fry, got him a fastball. 3-1 count. He went up top shelf and turned one around, and he didn't only just turn it around, he hit it plumb out of the ballpark. His 13th long ball of the year, and that's the only scoring so far in this one.
That ball was hit 107 miles an hour off the bat. Cooper Chaplin now. He'll step in there and get plunked. And boy, you can start to hear some moans and groans in this crowd after what you talked about. 11 walks, 8 of them came in to score last night.
But Zach Cowan, who's on the bump for LSU, typically a really good control and command guy. Not going to light the radar gun up with that fastball. It's going to be right around 90, 91. Changeup is a difference maker for him. He'll show you an occasional slider as well. But typically he has really good control. Only 10 walks in his 45 1/3 so far this year.
But trouble on the horizon. Angel Cano. He has set this place on fire this weekend. Angel. 8 for 18 this weekend. 3 home runs, 4 doubles, and 14 runs batted in. And he squares up to bunt.
Didn't have that on my bingo card. Not the way he's been hitting it. I don't know if that was just a fake to bring the infield in a little bit and then turn him loose. I mean, think about Angel Cano. He had a total of 4 home runs when he got to the Baton Rouge Regional. He's got 3 so far in the Baton Rouge Regional. And how about 14 RBIs just in this regional alone?
He hit one yesterday, Ben, off the scoreboard. I mean, even the people around here were oohing and ahhing at how far that ball went. And it was, I asked him earlier today before the game, I said, was that your longest home run of the year? And he said, oh, yeah.
After he drove in 7, we interviewed him after the game, you know, and he's like, I said, man, you ever heard a game like that before? And he just kind of smiled. He said, I've played a lot of baseball, and boy, how about that stroke right there? That stroke is short and tight and quick to the ball. You talk about bounce off that bat of his. It is some big-time pop.
Young man out of Cartagena, Colombia. He's been a fun story this weekend. His parents down in Cartagena cannot come up to the States. They just, it's just too much going on in their hometown, but they are watching every game. Little squibber off the end of the bat, and that's going to go foul. You surprised Jared didn't pick that up and get the out?
I thought Jared Jones had an opportunity there to quickly pick that ball up and at least take an out. Now, obviously would have moved the runners to second and third, but at this point, you'll take an out. But the ball had a lot of English on it. Jared Jones thought it'd be better to let it go, and it trickles foul. But anytime I get a chance to get that guy out, I'm getting him out.
Yeah.
I don't want to give him another swing.
1-1 the count. As Cade Martin's down at second, Cooper Chaplin is over at first. LSU is 32-6 in the friendly confines of Alex Box Stadium this year. They came in as a number 6 national seed. Been ranked number 1 a few times this year. They finished up the regular season as the number 1 team in the country. Up in the zone, 1-2 the count.
Yeah, and if you're sitting on changeup with Zach Cowan, he can zip the fastball by you. Changeup's right around 81, 82. Fastball 90 to 92. If you go up there and look for his best pitch, which is no doubt the changeup, he can get the fastball by you.
Fouls it off. Cano on the year hitting just .241, but you wouldn't know it by the way he has swung it this week.
He came into this Baton Rouge Regional hit .213 on the year. How about that? 18 RBIs when he got here. That's for the whole year. 14 alone in the Baton Rouge Regional.
That ball smoked. He stays hot. They're going to send Cade Martin. The throw will be cut off, and we are all tied at 1.
Make it 15 RBIs in this Baton Rouge Regional for Angel Cano. And I tell you what, the Trojans continue to wear it out in the big moments. Hitting with runners in scoring position. If you missed it earlier, 285 on the year runners in scoring position. In this tournament alone, they're hitting 386. That number just went up. He just kind of stuck his nose on an elevated changeup, quickly turns it around, and turns that scoreboard around too. We are all new again at 1-1.
You know, it's these events like Angel Cano. You know that certainly big league scouts are all over the place looking for talent, but you put him on this kind of stage and the way he's swinging it, all of a sudden guys are starting to jot his name down on some sheets. There's the bunt by Sammy Harris. Play over to first. Runners move to second and third, so Sammy does his job. That'll be the first out of the inning. Here comes Reed Wilbanks, the 9-hole hitter. Reed out in left field. Redshirt senior transfer out of Connors State College, where he played a couple of years. Another Arkansas kid on this roster for Chris Curry. He started close to 100 games over the last 2 years for the Trojans.
Zach Cowan got off to a great start out of this bullpen for the Tigers. His first 13 appearances, only 3 earned runs allowed. His last 7 appearances, though, he's allowed 9 earned runs.
He squares up to bunt. Cooper Chaplin scurries back to third base. Of course, Zach Cowan, a couple of years at Wofford, where he was a starting pitcher, had 18 starts with Wofford, but first one this year for LSU. No swing, says our first base umpire, Robert Nunez. You be the judge, Ben.
Go? I don't think so. I mean, the hands went out in front, but the barrel didn't. I'm okay with that one.
2-1 on Wilbanks. Wilbanks, he's 3 for 13, 231 this weekend. That one's down in the dirt. And another walk. That's 2 walks and a hit batter. A single and a sacrifice this inning.
Yeah, and you wonder how long Jay Johnson's going to go with Zach Cowan. Kason Evans, been mostly a reliever for LSU this year. But he's been starting as of late. And he is not pitching this regional. He's got a big arm down there. There he is right there. Kason Evans can give you length. Just a true freshman, but he has had an outstanding year. 6 saves on his resume this year.
Well, the bases are loaded for Alex Saquon. He's 6 for 13 this year with 16 RBIs when the bases have been full of teammates. He grounded out his first time up. Boy, he's played some exceptional shortstop.
Yeah, he's been good. And I tell you what, he fooled me too. His arm is a lot better than what I thought it was from the shortstop position.
That's going to get in for a base hit. Chaplin comes in to score. Cano rounds third. He will score. And again, Little Rock jumps out in front here in Baton Rouge. It's 3-1.
Well, this team just keeps on coming at you. We talk about hitting and how do you hit in the big moments. And I love the approach by Little Rock all weekend long. They don't try to do too much. They know who they are, and that's the most important thing as a baseball team and a baseball player is to know who you are and what you do best. They play small ball, they bunt, they hit and run. They'll steal a few bases from time to time, and they will beat you.
Jay Johnson heading out to the mound. He has seen enough. He did not want to make this walk.
Nope, not this early in the ball game. You felt like it was going to be a piggyback situation between Cowan and Evans, but I think he was hoping to get Cowan through the lineup a couple of times and then bring in Evans, but doesn't have that luxury. He'll have to bring in his ace reliever right now.
All right, we'll update this change. LSU in a world of hurt here in the Baton Rouge Regional Final.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
This turbo hybrid makes your whole team feel at home.
Risk it, anyone?
Even when you're away. The Kia Carnival Turbo Hybrid with 33 mpg. Kia, movement that inspires.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2, 3.
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Yeah, we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this, come on.
And it all adds up to one membership, the Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
Sunshine came softly through my window today. When you've made your mind up forever to be mine.
The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Some of the images from last night when Little Rock really put it on LSU. And just a fantastic performance all the way around. Malcolm Brown ate up some big-time innings coming out of nowhere as Little Rock enjoyed the victory to force this Game 7. There's their coach, Chris Curry. There's Malcolm Brown. And everybody but Malcolm is available to pitch tonight for Little Rock. But Malcolm tried to convince his coach that he could go, but he was like, let's slow down just a second. You threw up over 80 pitches.
Yeah, he did. He was good, too. There's the freshman Kason Evans out of Houston, Texas, 6'2", 194-pound true freshman, making his 18th appearance of the year. How about those numbers? 3-1 with a 1.96 ERA, 53 punch-outs, only 16 walks. Mid-90s fastball, and he'll push higher than that from time to time. He, too, has a really good changeup.
High chopper out to second. They'll misplay it at second base. A run will score, and they'll be at the corners again. LSU has been about as good as anybody in the country defensively. This infield has been almost flawless. So that is a surprise out there at second base.
Yeah, it looked like to me Daniel Dickinson got sped up just a little bit right here. Watch him as he goes a step. He puts a little extra on that flip. When he does, it is up and away to Stephen Milam. Ball gets away. That is only the 4th error of the year for Dickinson at second base.
LSU came in fielding .982, which was the best in school history as how good they've played defense this year. So Henry's over at first. That moves Seguin over to third base. And it's a 4-1 ball game. Shallow center field. Long run for Stanfield. Can anybody get it? It drops between 3 Tigers, and it's now 5-1. And Stanfield is still down.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of jump Stanfield got on this ball right here. Probably like it stayed in the air a long time now. He's deep back there. See how deep he is? Oh, he's coming hard. I mean, going as hard. Dickinson going out with his back to the infield. Nobody can get there.
Boy, and that right knee went right into, it looked like the rib cage of Dickinson, the second baseman. Everybody seems to be okay, but it's 5-1 Little Rock.
On plays like that, they always teach if you're an infielder going out, you want to stay up. You want to stay vertical, and you want the outfielder to be coming in. You want him to go low and dive. That keeps the collisions, head to head away from each other if you stick with that. But sometimes that's hard to do.
Jay Johnson out to the mound to talk to Kason Evans right now. This seems to be more about a pep talk of, hey, man.
Yeah, this is just to kind of calm them down a little bit and say, hey, there's a lot of baseball left to play. I want you guys to stick together, hit the reset button a little bit. We're going to get back in this ball game.
It's the 28th time that there has been an NCAA regional here at Alex Box Stadium, either the new one or the old one. This is a program that has pretty much been the gold standard for the last 30 years in college baseball.
You talk about typically dominate here in Baton Rouge in regionals. They are 91-18 as LSU in regional play here in Baton Rouge. That's an .840 winning percentage.
7 national titles since 1991. The last coming in 2023 under Jay Johnson. A team that featured Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz, who are both already in the show. Getting that big league per diem now.
Yeah, a little bit different than that D1 per diem.
Yeah.
Just a shade different.
Ty Rhodes steps to the plate. He'll look at strike one. Ty struck out his first time up. The junior out of Jonesboro, Arkansas. He's transitioned from the outfield over to third base this year. Leads his team in home runs. Strikeout numbers have really popped this year. He's up over 50. Only had 24 strikeouts last season.
This is an offense for Little Rock on the season, hitting .275, 53 home runs, but they do have 7 of them in this Baton Rouge Regional, averaging 6.1 runs per game. They've got 5 already for the game in this one.
96 miles an hour off the plate. It's 2-2. 5 runs have come in.
And there's only 1 out.
Ground ball to the right side. Jared Jones fields and throws and got him at second base. And here comes Jay Johnson out. He probably wants to know something about that slide, perhaps, to see if he stayed in the sliding zone. Directly into the bag.
Pretty gutsy play right there by the junior first baseman, Jared Jones, who the easy out was just go touch first base. But he wanted to get that runner.
LSU is challenging the call of no forced play slide rule at second base. The play is under review.
Tell you what, it looks like he went directly into the bag to me.
Yeah. That's a big old boy, too, in Ryan Geck, too. He is a big old guy sliding in there right there. I don't think the slide was late.
No, he's down.
Now, did he go past the bag? You're not allowed to go past the bag. I don't think he did.
And he's standing on the bag. I just don't see it. And in college baseball, you got to go directly. You cannot veer one way or the other outside of a direct line to that bag. And the slide was certainly on time and didn't go past the bag.
Could it be something to do with the upper body contact in the Milam?
Jay Johnson hopped out of there in a hurry. I know that. So there is a video review center in Pittsburgh, which they are searching through all the angles, looking at the best one to make a decision. They will relay that message to our crew here in Baton Rouge, and they will announce it over the public address system here inside Alex Box Stadium. I just don't see. I don't see that there
I don't see anything there.
Yeah.
I thought that was a legal slide. Looked fine to me.
After review, the runner from first is out on a routine out call at second base. There is no forced play slide rule. LSU has one challenge remaining.
So 2 outs in the inning now. Runners at the corners as Rhodes hits into that fielder's choice. And the 10th batter of the inning coming to the plate in the form of Cade Martin.
How about a catcher, Cade Martin?
And Murray State just took down Ole Miss in Oxford to move on to the Supers. A 12-3 advantage for Murray State disappeared rather quickly, and Ole Miss closed it to 12-11, but could not get over the hump. And now Murray State has punched their ticket. They are one step away from Omaha.
And another top 16 national seed goes down.
These, in the history of this format, which goes back to 1999, here are the 4 seeds that have reached the Supers. Murray State, the latest. Evansville last year. Oral Roberts did it in 2023. And certainly Little Rock hoping they can do the same as Murray State.
Baseball is a wonderful game.
That Stony Brook team in 2012 came to Baton Rouge and beat the Tigers here.
Yes, they did.
In the Super Regional. So second and third now. Cade Martin got this whole party started when he walked. This inning, there have been 5 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, a couple of walks, a hit batter, and a swing and a miss. Fernandez comes out and fires to first, and this inning is finally over. But Little Rock strikes for 5. They lead it by 4. We will visit with that man, Chris Curry, and his Trojan program when we come back.
Fire it up. The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
This Friday, the John Wick franchise keeps fighting. Rated R.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
Businesses are the backbone of our communities. And Bank of America is the best bank for small and medium-sized businesses. With over 3,700 dedicated business specialists across the nation, we're on your corner and in your corner. Because when businesses prosper, communities thrive.
Presented by Capital One. Another full house here, over 10,000 at Alex Box Stadium. Little Rock just puts up a 5 spot to lead LSU 5-1 as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Dave Neal, Ben McDonald, and there is Chris Curry, the head coach of the Little Rock Trojans. And Coach, I mean, just out of the gate, what's going on with your team right now? This is crazy, winning 8 of 9 and certainly not intimidated by this environment at all.
Well, no, this is now the 5th game, maybe the 6th, correct me, that we've played here. And so they in a row. And so they now understand how to deal with the crowd. They understand the wind and the way it plays. And great at bats. The freshman starts it off with leadoff walk, and then we get another man on. And after Angel thankfully pulls back on the bunt, because I'm not sure what Angel had in mind there, he gets a nice base hit. But we talked about that and cleared that up. And then some good situational hitting there. Seguin there with a backside single.
Yeah, and you got your senior Blake Van Cleve on the mound, making his third appearance, his first start of this regional run. What are you hoping to get out of him tonight?
About 3 more hitters. The man on deck is the one that I've circled, and I think he's going to play a long time. We're going to watch him on TV. And so we got to get 9, 1, 2, and then that'll be the second time through the order, and we might go to a different look.
Hey, Coach, before we let you go, just how important has this weekend been for you and your program?
Life-changing. Life-changing for me, life-changing for our players, and program-changing forever.
Well, certainly best of luck rest of the way. It's been fun watching your boys play.
I appreciate you guys.
Good
Thanks.
luck, Coach.
Thank you, Ben.
Michael Braswell, the third, to lead things off. He'll square up to bunt, pulls it back, and it's 3-0.
Well, if you're LSU, that's what you got to have. You got to have a few walks, some base runners, and maybe a long one to get back in this one.
There's a strike at 3-1. He said it all weekend. We're just playing with house money. Chris Curry, head coach at Little Rock.
And you can tell they are too. They have been loose since they got here. Didn't have a lot of expectations when they arrived. Nobody gave them a chance.
Off the end of the bat, right to Cano. He'll take it himself. Well, next weekend you can catch the NCAA Baseball Super Regional action across ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPNU, as well as streaming on ESPN+. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. Here is Derek Curiel, the leadoff man. Popped up in foul territory to start this game. Again, LSU is the visiting team for consecutive games here in this regional final. And it's basically based off, it's an NCAA thing, that the team who's been the home team the fewest amount of times will get to be the home team. And it works out that Little Rock gets to be the home team tonight. It's been that way for a while, but I've always believed if you earn the right to be a 1 seed.
Yeah, you would think if it came down to a game 7, you would think the team that earned the national seed would get to be home, but not in this case. You do get to stay in your home dugout.
Boy, another 3-0 count from Blake Van Cleve. A 4-pitch walk, and that'll put Curiel on for the man who went yard his first time. He left the yard his first time up, and Ethan Fry. And this is the batter that we just heard Chris Curry say he has circled, and this might be it. And here comes, right on cue, the head coach of Little Rock out to the mound. He's going to make a change in a hurry. He's going to go grab Brody Bunting. The junior right-hander out of Sherwood, Arkansas. So we will step aside for a moment, come back to Baton Rouge, LSU, in an uphill climb.
Fire it up. The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Savory, juicy, and hold up. It's got Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning? Nice. Crispy, zesty, ranchy perfection. Hidden Valley Ranch. Only serious about flavor.
Hello, hello, hello.
Get same-day delivery and text a personal shopper.
They have had to go through some pitchers, Ben. They have used 11 different guys. And you see some of the numbers on there. There's a chance we may even see Wells, who started the first game through 103 pitches at the back end of this game. But everybody except Malcolm Brown, who threw 89 pitches in relief yesterday, did a great job, is available today.
Everybody, I mean, it's all hands on deck, and it's got to be in a Game 7 for sure.
There is Malcolm Brown, 5 1/3 in relief yesterday, and what a great story for him. He almost gave up the game to go get a job. Work has 1-year-old, had a birthday yesterday when he gets the ball and puts on that kind of performance, but his coach, Chris Curry, convinced him to come back to school and get a degree, become the first person in his family to get a diploma. And how about the moment he had yesterday?
I mean, he is the reason, one of the reasons why they are where they are right now. Big time performance for him yesterday. That's up to Brody Bunting. Pretty good pitch right there. Bunting pitched a couple days ago on Saturday against Rhode Island. He went 4 1/3, 6 hits. He gave up 4 runs. And Bunting threw 83 pitches on Saturday, got yesterday off, and he is back at it again today.
1-1 to Ethan Fry, but they'll go to first. Again, LSU has changed their lineup today. They have shaken this thing up. Ethan Fry moving up to the 2-hole today, replacing Jared Jones, who slides back down to the 6th spot in this lineup. Jared just been struggling a bit at the plate. Fry with a high chopper, and that's going to get in for a base hit. He hit one out of the stadium, and then that one chopped in front of the plate about 5 feet in front of it.
Boy, it must be hard out in front of home plate. And they watered it. We watched them water. You could see the dirt out in front of home plate. It's still a little bit dark. This ball, when it hit, man, it hit about 20 feet in the air and got over the third baseman's head. Road, so first and second, and 1 out for LSU with Stephen Milam stepping to the box. Bunting's going to be right at about 90 to 92 with his fastball. Got a slider and a curveball and a changeup as well, and he likes that slider of his, especially against the right-handers.
Here is Stephen Monster Milam. He's leading this team in batting average. Came into today's game 5 for 7, scored 5 runs. Has a double, a couple of RBIs. His first time up, popped up to shortstop.
Yeah, he's had 14 plate appearances in this tournament so far, and he has reached 11 times out of 14 plate appearances.
Out to center field. Zach Henry, good read on that one, but that will get Curiel over to third, and Fry tags up, and he'll get to second base.
Yeah, both runners tag and take an extra 90, so second and third and 2 out on that deep fly ball by Stephen Milam.
Daniel Dickinson. He popped up in foul territory. His first time up to end the first inning. 327, 12 homers and 48 runs batted in. He had back-to-back at-bats earlier this weekend with home runs.
Yeah, the Tigers have been good, not great with runners in scoring position in this tournament. The season average 316. They're hitting 298 in this tournament with runners in scoring position.
Dickinson splits this year. You couldn't ask for more. He is .329 against right-handed pitching. He's hitting .329 against left-handed pitching. Makes it easy to pencil him into the lineup every day. And that one's down. It's 3-0.
Boy, this crowd is wanting to get into it, and it's going to take one base hit, and this place will be rocking.
Three and one. Misses inside. They will be loaded. And here comes Jake Brown with the bases loaded. Last night, LSU had 2 opportunities in separate innings with the bases loaded and couldn't get anybody home. See if they can turn the tables here on this Monday night. Crowd certainly trying to help them out. .93 at the knees.
Jake Brown, 7 homers, 40 RBIs on the season.
Oh, off the plate there. It's 2-1.
Boy, and if you're Jake Brown here, you're sitting on one pitch in your happy zone. Looking fastball and looking for one out over the plate to do some damage.
Shot down the line and left, and that'll be a foul ball. Derek Curiel over at third base. He walked. Ethan Fry, he singled. He's at second. Daniel Dickinson, he walked, and he stands at first base. All in front of Jake Brown.
All right, 3-2 count. Runners are going to be moving. Ball gets in the gap. You're going to see 3 score.
High fly ball left field. Reed Wilbanks makes the catch, and the Tigers will leave them loaded again. .5-1 Little Rock. We'll visit with Jay Johnson on the other side.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
This Friday, the greatest action franchise reloads. Rated R.
Savory, juicy, and hold up. It's got Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning? Nice. Crispy, zesty, ranchy perfection. Hidden Valley Ranch, only serious about flavor.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2, 3.
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Yeah, we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this. Come on.
And it all adds up to one member.
Little Rock clock out in front. Moved to the bottom of the third inning. Dave Neal, Ben McDonald, Jay Johnson kind enough to put a headset on for us. And, Coach, after the game last night, obviously it wasn't the type of game you've been playing all year. Last night you said guys just need to execute in these moments. And so what was, how do you do that? How do you get your team to kind of function in those environments?
Well, we actually went through with the team today how we were going to set the lineup, what we were going to do from a pitching standpoint, and told them what we needed them to do to win. So we got to just execute the plan, and there's a lot of game left, and obviously you'd love to get a hit right there, but there's no clock in baseball. We've been here against Mississippi State, against Alabama, and have been able to do it, so this team knows it can do it. And, we just got to get a 0 right here and then get back in here and put together more good at-bats.
Coach, speaking about the lineup a little bit different for you guys tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And they're going to make a lot of pitching changes. We wanted to give ourselves versatility with left and right and pinch hitters and put guys in spots to be successful. And then ultimately, if we get good at-bats, we feel like we can run up the run total.
All right, buddy, we'll let you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Good luck, Coach.
Appreciate him doing that. Down 5-1 in a regional final. And boy, that's this crowd was just pumping there for a moment. And then the fly ball, this one out to left. So Chaplin put a good drive into it, but caught by Stanfield out there. But this crowd, boy, they were just begging for an opportunity to explode. And again, it's those moments where he's talking about you got to be able to execute your plan.
Yep. I mean, it's one thing to get runners on. It's one thing to get them in scoring position, but can you come up with the big hit to make a difference? And that's kind of what's eluded LSU a little bit last night and again so far tonight.
Angel Cano, can he stay hot? Working against Kason Evans. He'll look at strike 2. Boy, 95 at the knees, painting the outside half.
Yeah, Kason Evans just gets it and he goes. He gets right back on that rubber and he is ready to go down that slope again.
This is inside.
And it's kind of herky-jerky. It's not real smooth, the windup. See how he kind of doesn't bring that leg all the way up. It's kind of a half kick a little bit.
Cano's average up to 246. Swing and a miss. 2 down.
Kason Evans began the year in the bullpen. He's been in the bullpen most of the year for LSU. Now, he did have some spot starts. See, it's a short leg kick, but I tell you what, he drives off that rubber. And typically, the harder you push off that rubber, the more velocity you will create. And that's a really good slider working down and away to Angel Cano.
And here comes Sammy Harris. He swings and misses. Boy, Evans does work quick.
I mean, he gets it and he is ready to go again.
And I do not have a problem with that. Keep it moving. Pitch clock is up there, but the batter doesn't have to be ready and looking at the pitcher until 8 seconds on that clock. To the right side, Jones will scoop, underhand toss to Evans, steps on the bag, and that is a clean inning for LSU. See if they can turn that around to some offense. Jared Jones will start things off when we come back.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Savory, juicy, and hold up. It's got Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning? Nice. Crispy, zesty, ranchy perfection. Hidden Valley Ranch, only serious about flavor.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Maybe it's you.
Drive up that's ready when you are. Just tap Target.
Well, here are the teams that have punched their tickets to the Supers. A couple of more to be determined now here in the Baton Rouge Regional and in Hattiesburg. Southern Miss and Miami going at it right now. As a matter of fact, ESPN's the home for the NCAA College Baseball Regionals. Around-the-clock multi-game coverage going on right now. Scan the QR code. ESPN Plus subscribers can access expanded coverage with Squeeze Play. So if you want to watch both of these games, this one in Hattiesburg and here, go to Squeeze Play, or you can just stay with us. And Jared Jones, you know, he just took a deep breath. First pitch, base hit, and boy, did he need that.
Yeah, if there was anybody that needed a base hit, it was a junior first baseman for LSU. And that's a good sign right there. Because when he lets that ball travel and hits a bullet to the backside of the field, he's starting to see it a little bit better.
There's the QR code. Get your phone out. Squeeze Play's been awesome this weekend. Chris Budd, Matt Schick, Chris Burke, Mike Rooney spinning around the country. They've watched a lot. We thought we've been at the ballpark a long time. They've been watching more baseball than anybody.
I know me and you spent 16 hours here on Friday.
You won't forget that, will you?
After a 5+ hour rain delay where it never even rained.
We got to watch the grass grow. That was fun.
They cut the grass 3 times while we were waiting.
Here's Stanfield with a 1-1 count. That's in there for a strike. It's 1-2. Stanfield had been hitting 9th in this lineup, but moved up. He's hitting .318 on the year. Fouls it straight back.
And he hit well in SEC play. That 30-game SEC schedule, he led LSU in batting average out of the 9-hole. And he's had some really good at-bats in this regional.
Stanfield, a couple of years at Auburn with the Tigers on the Plains. Moves over to LSU this year for the first season, and he certainly has had a fantastic year out of Tallahassee, Florida. He was a top 100 prospect coming out of high school, top 20 outfielder. Having career numbers. That one's up and in. It's full, 3-2. Out to short. Seguin. He'll get it to Chaplin over to first, not in time as Stanfield scoots down the line, but they do get Jared Jones at second for the first out of the inning.
Boy, that was a nice play by Seguin right there. That ball came up on him at the last second. Watch this. Routine ground ball. Watch it come up. Little bit up right there. He catches it in the heel of the glove, but he had that throw in hand right there to trap it. They almost turned the 6-4-3 double play, but Stanfield really gets down the line.
Here's Luis Hernandez, senior catcher. Luis transferred in this year from Indiana State. First team all Missouri Valley last year, where he hit .359 with 23 homers, 76 runs batted in. He got some international baseball work. He played for the Puerto Rican 23 and under national team last summer that won silver at the Baseball World Cup in China.
Yeah, and a ton of experience, and he has postseason experience too at Indiana State. They've been in a couple of regionals, a super regional as well.
High in the air, out to center field. That is where Zach Henry makes the catch. That'll be 2 out. So the Tennessee Volunteers beat Wake Forest in a Game 7 situation in Knoxville tonight. And the Tennessee Volunteers, of course, your defending national champs, trying to win back-to-back. Nobody's done it in college baseball since South Carolina under Ray Tanner back in 2010, 2011. So they keep that dream alive.
Yeah, look, it's been tough. I mean, you go back to Ole Miss 3 years ago, won the national championship, their first ever. They kind of go off the grid a little bit. No postseason play for 2 years. They don't even make the SEC tournament. And then Mississippi State the next year. Actually, it was State that won first and then Ole Miss, but both of them kind of went off the grid. Didn't have great teams, but Tennessee right back in the hunt again, trying to get to Omaha.
Pinch hitter coming up for LSU as Ashton Larson grabs the bat. Ashton, a sophomore outfielder, pinch hit last night. He'll have a little meeting now, an offensive timeout by Jay Johnson. He's going to get Stanfield to come over and join this conversation. So they're hitting for Braswell in that 9-hole here.
Yeah, and that's what Jay Johnson likes to do, and certainly he loves to grab the platoon advantage whenever he can. He's got some guys on the bench like Larson that can come in and tack some moments. Josh.
Ashton Larson, 256 on the year.
Got the Pearson brothers that'll come off the bench as well.
West Virginia awaiting the winner of this one. Larson looks at one up in the strike zone. Larson hitting .257 against right-handed pitching this year. That one misses outside, so it's 2-0. Larson has a couple of home runs. Throw back to first. For the first 2 games of this regional, I don't know that there was a better team in America than what LSU was putting out on the field. I mean, they were executing at a high level in every aspect of the game. Last night took a step back. Had some opportunities to score some runs, couldn't do it. Tonight already had an opportunity with the bases loaded, couldn't produce a run.
Well, the game always, and look, the most important thing in this game has always been pitching and starting pitching. When you have starting pitchers like LSU has, and you talk about Anthony Ianson, Cade Anderson. Anderson leads the country in strikeouts. Ianson is third, and they stack zeros in the first 2 games. And you don't have to score a lot of runs when you have that kind of pitching, but it started to fall apart a little bit for LSU last night in Game 3 of this regional.
In 2 games against the previous 2 games against Little Rock, LSU has left 14. 9 of those have been in scoring position.
There is Cade Anderson, draftable sophomore. You talk about helium in the draft. He has shot up the draft boards. Cade Anderson expected to be a middle 2nd round pick when the season began. Some projections have him as high as number 3 in the 1st round to the Seattle Mariners.
And that is ball 4. A 4-pitch walk, and now the Tigers will have him first and second. And here comes the sensational true freshman Derek Curiel.
Dave, it's not very often a freshman steps into campus at a Power 4 conference and contributes. That's one thing, just to contribute, but to sit at the very top of a lineup and do what he's done this year. 346 coming in, 6 homers, 47 RBIs. And he is advanced. When you talk about approach at the plate, hit the ball to the backside of the field, you pitch him inside, he'll pull it, but he's got a really good understanding of the strike zone typically.
Gurriel's hitting .345 this season. The best number on this team amongst the regulars. He is top 10 in the league in walks. Top 10 in doubles. Here comes Brady Cox.
I mean, we've seen some really good freshmen step on this campus in recent years. You know, you think Alex Bregman, you think Dylan Cruz, you think players like that. And I'm going to tell you what, I saw those guys when they were here, and I've seen Gurriel his freshman year. Gurriel's the best one I've seen so far when it comes to plate discipline and the understanding of the strike zone. Now, Bregman eventually got there, and Dylan Cruz got there too, but they weren't as advanced as this kid. Now, both of those guys probably had a little more pop than Gurriel had.
Gurriel started his LSU career reaching base 43 consecutive games right out of the gate. And in 38 of those 43, reached base multiple times. Dylan Cruz has the school record, up over 70 consecutive games.
Yeah, that was a course in 2 years. Dylan Cruz reached in every game the year LSU won the national championship in 2023.
You start thinking about that team with Tommy White, Dylan Cruz, Paul Skeens. I mean, it was
pretty good place to start if you're trying to win a national championship. First time in history that 2 players from the same program went 1 and 2 in the draft.
1-0 on Gurriel. First and second for LSU. 2 down. They trail by 4.
Well, I tell you what, that's a pretty decent pitch right there. And for me, the strike zones in this, I mean, the strike zones have been kind of small to me. I thought it was small last night.
There's a strike, 2-1. LSU and Little Rock have met one other time. They played a 3-game series back in 2005. Back at the original Alex Box Stadium, the Tigers won all 3 of those.
That ball must have nicked home plate umpire Mike Morris because he spun around quickly.
That one gets away from Cade Martin. Runners move up to second and third. And the count will be full. It'll be 3-2 with 2 outs.
The head coach, Chris Curry, walked Gurriel yesterday with first base open. Not going to do it in this one. Now, Jones was hitting right behind him. Now, Ethan Fry is there, and Ethan Fry's already got a home run tonight. Yeah, Gurriel wanted that swing back. You could see when he swung and offered at that elevated breaking ball, it was not a strike. He turned in motion to the dugout. That ball was up. He knew it was up.
They are loaded again. And here comes Ethan Fry.
Now batting designated hitter, Ethan Fry.
2 for 2. Average up to 351.
Out of Rose Pine, Louisiana.
Ethan Fry 2 for 6 this year with the bases loaded. One of those 2 hits was a grand slam. Hit one out of the stadium and left earlier tonight.
LSU left them loaded in the 3rd. Didn't get anything. Loaded again here in the 4th.
Shot out to right center. That's going to drop off the wall. Stanfield scores. Larson scores. Curiel scores. Listen to the box.
Well, Jay Johnson pushing all the right buttons. He shook that lineup up. He put Ethan Fry in that 2-hole, and all he has done today, folks, how about 3 for 3, a homer, a double, a single, and 4 RBIs, and this is a bullet. And if that wall would have been there, that ball might have rolled all the way to Rose Pine, Louisiana. Watch this swing. Just a beautiful swing. You talk about touching one off the bat. One hops it off the wall. That ball off the bat at 113 miles an hour. And LSU draws to within 1.
That is clearly the hardest hit ball we have seen this entire regional. "5-4" is our score. Stephen Milam trying to keep it going. 0 for 2. Ethan Fry, by the way, all 5 of his regional hits have been for extra bases. 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. Popped him up. That'll get out of play. And we may see their #1 starter, Jackson Wells, here any moment.
Yeah, Jackson Wells threw 103 pitches on Friday.
That's blasted out to center. Zach Henry on the run. He will make the catch and crash into the wall. Inning is over. Wow. There's a lot going on at Alex Box Stadium tonight.
Zach Henry, the senior outfielder for Little Rock. Get on your horse, kid. And boy, does he ever. Shaded toward right center field. Off and moving fields the track up and against the wall to collect that one. Big time play for Zach Henry.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
At Morgan Stanley, old school hard work meets bold new thinking. To help you see untapped possibilities and relentlessly work with you to make them real.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
Sunshine came softly through my window today. When you've made your mind up forever to be mine.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2, 3.
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Here we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this, come on.
And it all adds up to one membership. The Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
Got ourselves a 5-4 game, but the 5 runs for Little Rock came in the second. You know, part of an onslaught. There was a walk, couple of walks, a hit by pitch. Saquon had a big 2 RBI single, and then Ryan Geck blooped one in. He picked up an RBI as well. And just a moment ago, LSU picks up 3 on a bases clearing double by Ethan Fry. And now we'll start things off with Reed Wilbanks in the 9-hole, and then it's back to Alex Saquon and Zach Henry.
Yeah, Little Rock shut out in game 1 of this regional against LSU, and since then, the next 4 games, all they have done is put 45, not runs, but points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, we got finished with runs a long time ago.
We're into points now.
Kason Evans took over for LSU starter Zach Cowan, who couldn't get out of the second inning. Talking to Jay Johnson, he was really hoping that Cowan could go as far as he could go, but 4 innings would have been plenty, but just couldn't get there tonight. Didn't have his best stuff, and turns it over to another guy who was started and relieved. Both Cowan and Evans tied for the team lead with 6 saves apiece.
They both sat at the back end of the bullpen for LSU early in the year. Chase Shores was the Sunday starter for LSU, and he started to scuffle a little bit. So Evans became the Sunday starter late in the year.
Wilbanks is going to drop one in left center. He will put the brakes on and get back to first. So a good start for Little Rock. LSU went to the bench and pinch hit for Michael Braswell last inning. So Tanner Reeves now takes over at third base. Tanner, a redshirt junior. JC transfer in here out of Bonham, Texas. Welcome to the game, young man. 5 hits for Little Rock, 5 hits for LSU. There's the bunt by Saquon. It's a good one, and Evans will just throw it over to Jones for the out. That'll move Wilbanks over to second base. Zach Henry singled, stole a base back in the first, hit into a fielder's choice, but reached on an error in the process. His second time up.
Little Rock already 7 opportunities. This will be their 8th with runners in scoring position. They are 3 for 7 right now. 429.
Big swing from Zach Henry. He was trying to juice one out of here. He's got 5 home runs on the season.
That's Kason Evans. He's got that splitter. You can tell the grip that he goes to when he's in a stretch position. Grabs that splitter, and it's a tough chance for hitters because the fastball is 95, 96. He throws that splitter in there. He takes a lot off of it. There it is again. So you go from 95, 96 to 83, 84. That's a big adjustment.
Little Rock's hit 7 home runs in this regional, and that's a significant number because they were not a home run hitting team at all. Just 46 home runs at the end of the regular season.
No, there was nothing about their numbers that said they should be in a regional final. Nothing.
Well, that just misses. All the 11,000 umpires thought that was a strike.
Couple of really good split finger fastballs. And the senior catcher Luis Hernandez rocks to the outside part. Looked like it was about a ball off the outside part. A good take.
Almost in the exact same spot. It's now full at 3-2.
0-2 to 3-2.
Got him swinging.
Well, just when you thought you got yourself in a fastball count, battle back from 0-2 to 3-2. Zach Henry sitting on a fastball, and he gets that splitter right here. Watch that. You can't throw one any better than that right there. At the big league level, there's no such thing as a fastball count anymore. We're kind of getting that way in the college game as well.
3 strikeouts tonight for Kason Evans, as he will face Ryan Geck, the designated hitter. 6'5", 225 out of Long Beach, California. Transferred in from Long Beach City College, a couple of years there. His first year here at Little Rock. Fouls that one back into the netting. It's 0-2 on Geck.
Well, it's so important to get ahead. Work from ahead if you're a pitcher. Pitching is not defense. Pitching is offense. Pitching is putting a hitter in a hole right away. Throwing strike one, getting ahead, and then expanding the zone.
Well, that is a foul ball by fractions.
We talked about this last night, Dave, but it's important to note for pitchers that are out there. When big league hitters are behind in the count, they hit 193. When they're ahead in the count, they hit 329. And in any 2-strike count, 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, or 3-2, big league hitters hit 171. That's how important it is to work ahead.
What was it with 2 strikes?
171 big league hitters are hitting in any 2-strike count.
Geck behind, 0-2 here. Swings and misses. Nothing doing for the Trojans. Tiger fans getting into it. Their club down a run.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Sunshine came softly through our window today. When you've made your mind up forever to be mine.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
Tell you what, few things are as fun as listening to these LSU fans seeing Colin Baton Rouge between innings. They are into it. Hey, you know who's into it? West Virginia. They win the Clemson Regional. They will await the winner of this one here in Baton Rouge.
You know West Virginia is watching, and they are taking notes on who they're going to play. Well, there is Jackson Wells, the ace of this staff. He pitched game 1 against LSU way back on Friday. Senior out of Rogers, Arkansas, making his 18th appearance of the year. 3 wins, 5.25 ERA. Boy, he can strike you out. 93 strikeouts in 84 innings of work. LSU got him for 3 runs in 5 innings on 7 hits on Friday night.
the great nugget about Wells is 2 years ago, he led the country in ERA by a fraction over
some guy by the name of Paul Skeens. That's what kind of year he had back in 2023. He went 7-4 that year, a 1.65 ERA. There it is right there. Rhett Lauder in the big leagues, Paul Skeens in the big leagues, and Jackson Wells won the ERA title in D1 baseball a couple of years ago.
Dickinson will lead it off. Jake Brown to follow. Then it's Jared Jones. Dickinson 0 for 1. Ground ball. They had him shaded to the left. Chaplin makes a nice play. Speaking of the big leagues, how about Sunday Night Baseball will be in the Bronx as the AL East leading Yankees host the rival Red Sox at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Expected starters, former Auburn Tiger and former Yankee farmhand Richard Fitz supposed to get the ball for the Red Sox. And former NC State starter Carlos Rodon getting the ball for the Yankees. You know, there was a funny story about that Wells winning the ERA title in 2023 when LSU was in that final game clinching the national championship. Paul Skeens was warming up, and the only people that were really paying super close attention to whether Skeens was going to come in, because LSU was way out in front.
Right.
And if Skeens had come in and gotten, I think it was 2 outs, his ERA, without giving up a run, would have surpassed the ERA of Wells. So, you know, the folks in Little Rock were eyeballing that one really closely.
Well, head coach Chris Curry tells a story that Wells actually called him during the game. He's like, hey, man, if they bring Skeens in and he gets 2 outs without giving a run, I'm going to lose the ERA title. And he said, well, big fella, there's nothing you can do about that right now.
That ball's out to right field for Sammy Harris. And that ended quite well for LSU. Skeens didn't have to come in, and they won the championship and celebrated their 7th national title in 2023. And Wells got to have the honor of the lowest ERA in college baseball.
And it's not quite been the same the last 2 years. He followed it up last year with an ERA of 5.91 and 5.24 this year coming into regionals. But still a horse on the mound. He can give you some length. He's got really good stuff. We talked about the strikeouts. It's a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
Here's Jared Jones. Jared with a base hit his last time up.
Yeah, he's the one that got it started for LSU. He led off the 4th inning with a single to the opposite field. LSU would score 3 runs and climb right back in this one.
Fouls it straight back. Miami Hurricanes up 4-1 over Southern Miss out of that Hattiesburg regional. 5-4 game here in Baton Rouge. Boy, that one just misses.
Yeah, Jackson Wells, 4-pitch mix for him. Fastball he'll use about 61% of the time. Then the splitter behind that. Little cutter and a slider as well. His best swing and miss pitch is that split finger fastball.
Chops that one, 2-2.
And this kid's got a lot of experience. Over 310 collegiate innings under his belt.
Swing and a miss. Martin fields, calmly throws over to first, and the inning is over. Good, clean inning for Wells. Gets a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. 5-4 Trojans.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Savory, juicy, and hold up. It's got Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning? Nice. Crispy, zesty, ranchy perfection. Hidden Valley Ranch. Only serious about flavor.
With USPS Ground Advantage, it's like you're with us every step of the way.
Right on time.
Stay in the know from your dock to their door.
To the NCAA Baseball Championships presented by Capital One. Dave Neal and Big Ben McDonald with you from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and deciding Game 7. The winner of this one with Little Rock and LSU heading to the Super Regionals. And the story of Little Rock, folks, if you're just joining us, it is quite the story. Really struggled down the stretch, losing 13 of their last 14. Just barely got into the OVC Conference Tournament. They won a tiebreaker to be the 8th team in an 8-team tournament. Won 5 games in 4 days. The first day they had to win 2 games. They were both elimination games to get into a double elimination tournament, and then they won 3 straight to capture the crown. And since they have just been on a roll, Chris Curry, a former Mississippi State catcher and 7 years in the minor leagues. He was drafted 4 times before finally being selected. Was it 9th round by the Cubs?
Yeah, he began his playing career at Meridian Community College. A couple of years there, then on to Mississippi State, as you mentioned.
He broke my heart, though, when we met him on Thursday, when he said when he was catching Mississippi State that he had a VH copy of a game I called when he was playing LSU at the old box.
He dated you real quick with that VHS tape.
That stung, I'm not going to lie.
Probably half of our audience doesn't even know what a VHS tape is.
But that one kind of hurt a little bit. And I was like, can you not ever show me that? That was from 1999, I think. 98 or 99.
Yeah, he called us both sir. No,
yeah,
sir.
I know.
I said, hold up a now.
Timeout. But he's been fun to be around all weekend. He and his staff, his team, they've just been great. And they.
Well, you ask him what has this meant to him, and he said life-changing. And when somebody says life-changing, that's a big statement.
Cade Martin swings through that one down after Rhodes strikes out.
Yeah, that's 3 strikeouts in a row for Kason Evans. And right now, he's doing exactly what he needed to do. Came in, LSU was down 5-1, and it was his job to start stacking some zeros and give this offense a chance to climb back in it. So far, he's been able to do that. He's at 50 pitches right now, or 49. This will be 50. Anything turned like that, Dave Neal ought to have a blinker on it. That thing went hard right to left.
33 strikes in those 50 pitches. Way off the plate. Another strikeout.
Make it 4 in a row.
And he ties his season high with 6 strikeouts overall.
This is where all pitchers want to get right here with 2 strikes, folks. Something that starts as a strike, stays in the zone a long time, and makes a quick left on the freshman Cade Martin. Strike to ball.
Cooper Chaplin. The fact that Little Rock is 27-33. They finished the regular season 19-32. And here they are with a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 5th inning.
That's a great thing about postseason. If you had a great year, good for you. Continue it. But if you had a bad year, didn't win the games you wanted to collectively, man.
But they've run into a buzzsaw right now, Ben.
A big-time buzzsaw. How about the freshman Kason Evans, folks? Punches out the side. And how about 5 in a row by Kason Evans? That split finger fastball dancing like a minnow in shallow water.
Another great crowd here at Alex Box Stadium watching a thrilling one as we go to the 6th inning. Little Rock trying to shock the college baseball world, up 5-4. Look at our game summary. It has been Kason Evans in relief who is putting on a show. 7 strikeouts, no walks. Ethan Fry at the plate, 3 for 3 with a homer, double, 4 runs batted in. Everybody else, though, struggling, 2 for 17 as Chris Stanfield, the center fielder, will lead things off here in the 6th. This Little Rock team, by the way, to put this in perspective even more, they're the first team with a losing record entering the NCAA tournament to get within 1 win of reaching the Supers. Wow. Their first ever tournament win was this weekend.
Yeah, this is only their 2nd regional appearance in program history. The only other time that the Trojans were in the NC2A tournament was back in 2011 over in Corvallis.
Facing a team with the 7 national championships up on the Intimidator in right field. I mean, talk about a discrepancy in the history of these programs. And Stanfield goes down swinging. Wells is looking sharp, too, after pitching just a couple of days ago.
How about down 3-0 and he comes all the way back, not just to get an out, but a strikeout. Yeah, let's not forget Jackson Wells on Friday night, 103 pitches. 2 days off, and he's back at it again.
Luis Hernandez. Now, in these moments, you got to think Wells feels the adrenaline. Oh, that ball's hit high in the air out to left. It stays fair. Is it going to be out of here? It is! Home run! Luis Hernandez, and we are tied.
Well, Dave Neal, you get in big moments, you want to lean on your veterans. Luis Hernandez, the senior catcher. How about this swing right here? Fastball trying to work to the inside. Boy, did he get those hands in tight to the body, gets the barrel to it, and he knew it when he touched it. We were going to be all new again. Hernandez's 8th long ball of the year, and we are back square.
Tanner Reeves steps to the plate. He came in to play a little defense. His first at-bat tonight. I was about to talk. You've been in these situations. How many pitches did you throw in the postseason one year? Did you have like
a bunch?
I mean, there was one.
That was one game. That was one day. I started and went 7, and then got to save in game 2. I think the most pitches I ever threw in a game was 221 in one game. 13 innings in high school, senior year. Had to get that complete game, Dave.
You were chasing it for 13 innings.
It took a while.
Hernandez still enjoying the moment. 3-1 to Tanner Reeves. That's it. Out to center field. Henry on the run to the warning track. Up against the wall, makes the catch for out number 2. The Women's College World Series. Going to be a good one. Texas and Texas Tech. Texas's 3rd championship series since 2022. First intrastate championship series since the format began back in '05. And it's the first appearance for Texas Tech in the Women's College World Series. That will be a lot of fun. It'll all start on Wednesday. Darren Curiel smashes this one out to center, but Zach Henry makes the catch. But Luis Hernandez.
Come on now, senior. Do what you do. How about lean on one? And boy, he leaned on that one right down the left field line. His 8th long ball of the year, and we got a 5-5 ball game, folks.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
You can still leave. You still have a choice.
Cool.
Ballerina, rated R.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
Sunshine came softly through my window today. When you've made your mind up forever to be mine.
Today she starts with a drive, but the real work came before. Inspired by a coach who recognized her potential. Morgan Stanley proudly supports First Team, driving progress for the next generation.
Boy, this has been a bizarre regional weekend. Vanderbilt and Texas, the top 2 seeds, eliminated. Georgia goes down. Ole Miss gave it a valiant effort, but they lose tonight to Murray State, 12-11. Clemson was eliminated rather quickly. Oregon was 2-Q, hosting out in Eugene.
Crazy year. It has been, I mean, let's not forget how it started with Texas A&M Virginia. Preseason unanimous #1 and #2. They don't even get into the field of 64. And then your top 2 national seeds don't advance out of regional. I mean, this has been worse than March Madness.
Yeah. Exciting.
It's been very exciting.
This will be the fewest number of national seeds to move to the Super since we started this format back in 1999. Called strike 3 on Angel Cano, and the run continues for Kason Evans.
That is 6 in a row, folks. 6 punch-outs in a row for the freshman, Kason Evans, and he is feeling it and doing his thing right now. 8 strikeouts tonight for the freshman. That is a season career high.
For the Tony Vitello lookalike. Tennessee head coach Kason Evans. A lot of similarities.
Yeah, but Tony could never throw a ball like that. He's a terrific coach, but he wishes he had that arm.
Tony can throw some good BP, though, now.
Yeah, he can.
Know your strengths.
45 feet BP is a little bit different than 60 feet 6 inches, though.
Tennessee moving on. They beat Wake Forest tonight in Knoxville. Sammy Harris fouls that one back. 2 strikes on him now. Can Evans keep it going?
Been a lot of strike ones. Throw strike 1, throw 2 of the first 3 pitches. Easier said than done. And that is typically a recipe for success.
Got him. And the run continues.
Man, that splitter is just dancing up there, and it is bottoming out. He's getting ahead with fastballs up in his zone. He's setting it up, and he's coming right out of that same window with that split finger fastball, about an 11 or 12 mile per hour difference in velocity, and make it 7 in a row for the freshman.
Reed Wilbanks, he'll give it a shot. That is strike 1. Again, getting ahead. Jay Johnson has said numerous times that projection for Evans is to be their guy next year at the front of their rotation. Turned down quite a bit of money to get here.
Yeah,
to LSU.
Part of that #1 freshman class in the country that showed up in Baton Rouge this year. Of course, LSU had the overall. If you count the transfer portal, the freshman class, and everything combined, it was the #1 recruiting class in the country.
Got him. How about 8 in a row for Kason Evans?
I've never seen anything like this before. Boy, the fans are certainly enjoying it too. Punches out the side again. Kason Evans, folks, doing his thing. There was the first one. There's the second one on that splitter. And then just for fun, another splitter. Kason Evans is fired up, and this 11,000 folks here in Baton Rouge fired up too.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
You can still leave. You still have a choice.
Cool.
Ballerina, rated R.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
In your neighborhood, there's a place so good. It's so nice to be at a store meant for me.
80% lean ground beef is just $4.88 a pound. Athena melons are only 99 cents a pound. Lay's kettle cooked chips or rolled gold pretzels are just $2.88. Tyson chicken is only $6.98.
Welcome to Fairway, your Fairway family.
The Women's College World Series on the networks of ESPN.
The Intimidator in the right field corner of this magnificent college baseball facility here in Baton Rouge on the campus of Louisiana State University. Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field. Glad you could join us. A ton of excitement in this Game 7. The winner moving on. The loser's season is over. Ethan Fry, 3 for 3, including a home run. 4 runs batted in as he moves up to the 2-hole tonight for the first time.
Yeah,
so that worked.
Been pretty much hitting the 5-hole for a while now. Elevated to the 2-hole, and he has not disappointed.
Fry at 6'6", 225, third-year junior.
And can move, too. Didn't get much playing time his freshman year. That was the year LSU won the national championship in 23. Wasn't a place for him. About the time last year, Jay Johnson got ready to plug him in pretty much every day. Nicked up a hamstring. Missed a lot of time. Never really got going, but he's gotten an opportunity this year. And early in the year, it was kind of a platoon situation. Josh Pearson, Ethan Fry, and others with that DH spot. And finally, Ethan Fry just raised that big old right hand here. He says, I'll be your DH.
Won back-to-back state high school titles here in the state of Louisiana. Was the state's Mr. Baseball. Former high school quarterback. Imagine trying to tackle that guy.
He can move, too, can't he? We saw him on that triple the other day.
Triple, and he ended up scoring. They bobbled the ball in the outfield.
Ended up being a little league home run, but it was a triple, and he was picking them up and putting them down.
Barrels that one out to right center. It hops off the wall, and Fry will coast into second, and they don't have an answer for this guy.
The Fry Daddy out of Rose Pine, Louisiana. How about a 4 for 4 day? 3 of those 4 hits, extra bases, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs, a home run now. Watch this swing. 3-2 count, hunting him a fastball, and he gets one on the outside part of the plate. The hands go first, and that big old barrel right behind it, and a rocket again. Right on the button. That is your go-ahead run now in scoring position for LSU here in the top of the 7th with nobody out.
And here comes Stephen Milam.
And if you're Stephen Milam right here, the idea, leadoff double, you got to get a ground ball to the right side. Get that runner to third base, less than 2 out. If the ball gets through, that's icing on the cake.
Do you think about bunting here?
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, if you're confident enough to bunt it, that's fine. If you feel like you can take a swing and move a ball to the right side on the ground, that's good too, because it can get through. But one way or the other, whatever Milam decides to do, he's got to figure out a way.
They'll shade him, obviously, to the right side as the shortstop, Alex Seguin. Playing close to the bag at second.
Jackson Wells, the pitcher, knows that. And so what he's going to try to do is force the ball to the opposite side of the field if he can. The danger with that is there's a big hole over the shortstop position right now. Seguin kind of shaded right behind second base.
It's 0-2. Boy, that's a nasty pitch, just kind of dropping down on your shoelaces.
That's where you want to get that breaking ball. Down and in and underneath the bat of the left-handed hitters.
Milam 0 for 3. Pop up, couple of flyouts. Barreled his last time, though.
Oh, and a really nice block by the freshman, Cade Martin. Cade Martin, folks, has caught every inning of every game in this regional that Little Rock has played, including all 18 innings yesterday.
You know, Martin's a great story in his own right behind the plate. He was a guy that was headed to junior college, didn't get much action in the recruiting world. And then in December of his senior year, he shows up at the Little Rock Prospects Camp in December. And Chris Curry, who's a catcher by trade in the minor leagues and in college, kept watching him and going, hey, there's a lot here I could work with. I like this. I like this. I like this. They said, hey, if you want to come play for us, we'll find you a spot. Martin walks on, and now he's been their starting catcher. That one gets to the backstop, and for a second, Fry was thinking of turning the corner.
And I understand the one knee thing. I get the one knee trying to steal, but you can't tell me on one knee that you got a chance to block certain balls like that. That is a hard move for a catcher because you want to try to get your body in front of the ball. And in my opinion, when you're talking about freshmen and college kids, that is a hard move on one knee to try to block like that.
Ben, we saw that exact same pitch in the same spot yesterday with Cade on one knee,
and look, I get it. You can steal a few more balls, work from the ground up. I understand that piece of it. But I just wonder if it pays off in the end. And we'll see if he goes back to one knee with the go-ahead run just 90 feet away.
2-2 on Milam. Ground ball back up the middle, knocked down. The only play going to be over to first. Got him. Oh, my goodness, what a play. Cooper Chaplin. Oh, that was Seguin making that play, the shortstop.
What a play. And I tell you what, it has been a glove show for that middle infield right here. Watch this play right here. Infield in, Ranges ball somehow kicks right back to him. He picks up and all the way across his body, he makes the throw. And how about the finish on the back end by Angel Cano? Somehow kept his big toe on the bag to collect the out, but LSU takes the lead on that ground out.
Seguin came from the right-hand side of that bag, so I thought initially it was Chaplin who made the play. As they were in that shift formation, that makes it even more impressive, him having to chase that one down.
Boy, that ball that got away, that moved Ethan Fry from second to third. LSU takes advantage.
A one-run game now. LSU has rallied back from a 5-1 deficit. Dickinson 0 for 2 with a walk. Base is empty. One down. How has the big league game changed in your eyes since they've removed the shift?
Well, the truth is the only reason they removed the shift, they're trying to get more offense in the game. That was the whole idea with no more sticky stuff. They removed the shift, bigger bases, trying to promote more stolen bases because the pitchers have been dominating the game. And if you look in today's game, the average big league hitter today is hitting 243.
That's crazy.
That's what they're hitting.
That's just nuts to think that that's what big league guys are getting paid millions.
And look, and
240.
And think about this. 20 years ago, the average big league average was 265. And that's when we had pitchers hitting in the National League, and that's when we had the shift still in play. We got DHs hitting now, and no more shift, and still we're hitting 243 is the average batting average, to tell you how pitchers are dominating the game.
Because the batters have changed their approach or because pitchers are better?
Both. I think it's both.
High pop up. Ty Rhodes makes the play. 2 down. Hey, next weekend you can catch the NCAA Baseball Super Regional action across ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPNU, as well as streaming on ESPN+. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. Here's Jake Brown, 1 for 3 with a single. 2 down in the inning. We're in the top of the 7th. Oh, 0-2 on Brown. Jake, the sophomore out of Sulphur, Louisiana. 16th round pick out of high school by the Texas Rangers.
The average big league hitter has a 712 OPS. That's your on base plus your slugging. You compare that to the college game, the average D1 hitter is hitting 280 this year versus 243 for MLB and an 827 OPS for the average college hitter.
Jake Brown slaps it through the left side. Hit number 8 for the Tigers.
Yeah, Jake Brown, pretty good day for him. 2 for 4 day, couple of singles, couple of flyouts. We were kind of sitting around right before game time going, I don't know if this place is going to fill up on a Monday night, but late arriving crowd, it filled up. It is slam packed.
Here is Jared Jones. Base hit tonight, 1 for 3. Boy, Little Rock is, when they get back in the dugout, they got to figure out a plan against Kason Evans, who has struck out 8 consecutive Trojan batters. Wells' pitch count up to 50 at this point. Couple of arms up in that bullpen. Jones takes a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. See, those are the pitches that Jared Jones earlier this year was, I mean, just hammering those.
Yeah. He's kind of caught in between right now. He's been a little bit late on the fastballs, a little bit out in front of the off-speed stuff.
Out in front of Martin. Here's the throw down, actually into center field. And just like that, the Tigers will now have a runner at third. Brown got up in a hurry and scooted to third. There wasn't even a throw.
That's what speed does to you right there. Jake Brown, the fastest guy on this LSU team. Good dirt ball read by him. And he forces an error right there by the freshman catcher, Cade Martin. Read it, and that's what you're taught when you're on the bases. Read the ball out of the pitcher's hand. If you think it's going to bounce, take an extra 90. Jake Brown gets into second base and then eventually over to third on the arrow.
Check swing, he did go, and there's the strikeout, and that'll get the Trojans off the field. But LSU picks up a run. That means they have taken the lead at 6-5.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
This Friday, the John Wick franchise keeps fighting. Rated R.
Savory, juicy, and hold up. It's got Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning? Nice. Crispy, zesty, ranchy perfection. Hidden Valley Ranch. Only serious about flavor.
In your neighborhood, there's a place so good. It's so nice to be at a store learn from me.
80% lean ground beef is just $4.88 a pound. Athena melons are only 99 cents a pound. Lay's kettle cooked chips or rolled gold pretzels are just $2.88. Tyson chicken is only $6.98.
Welcome to Fairway, your Fairway family.
Jay Johnson went to his bullpen early. In the second inning, he went and got the freshman Kason Evans, who's been the best on the bump coming out of that bullpen for LSU this year. And I tell you what, he went to work. 4 2/3 now, only allowed 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and how about this? 10 strikeouts, including 8 in a row at one time. He has gotten 14 outs, Dave Neal, since coming in, 10 by strikeout.
Is that good?
That will play every day of the week and twice in Game 7.
Struck out 8 straight. Look at that line. I mean, folks, this is a freshman, and you will hear his name next year at the front end of this rotation for LSU in 2026.
I mean, he's just putting hitters on defense right away. Strike 1. It is a recipe for success.
You know, just so you know, the consecutive strikeout streak in the big leagues is 13 in a row by Jeremiah Estrada back just a year ago. He struck out 13, and in a college game, how about Hagen Smith? He punched out 15 in a row. Remember an early game?
I remember that. That is crazy.
A little slow roller, and the strikeout streak is still alive. We'll have the 0-2 once again. LSU scored in the first inning to take a 1-0 lead, but in the bottom of the second, Little Rock put a 5 spot up on the board, and LSU has just been chipping away at it. 3 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, and 1 in the 7th. That one's off the netting. We'll do it again. Story at the plate for LSU has certainly been Ethan Fry's 4 for 4. And the streak is now at 9.
Wow. He has got them all going. Good fastball up to 96. A really good splitter, and this pitch right here to add with it. Little slider. That's more what you call a bullet spin slider. Doesn't have a whole lot of right to left in it, just a lot of bottom to it.
Zach Henry now. Zach Henry 1 for 3 today. Zach struck out his last time, singled in the first. was the first of this line of 9. Two and 1. Pitch count at 76. Two and 2. 93 pitches, season high for Kason Evans. Winner gets West Virginia next weekend, or this weekend, I should say. There's the first blemish. The first walk of the evening for Kason Evans. Hey, next Sunday, Sunday Night Baseball will be in the Bronx. And you know these things are always a war. The AL East leading Yankees host the rival Red Sox, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Got a couple of former college standouts on the mound. Richard Fitz, who pitched at Auburn. Carlos Rodon, who pitched at NC State, facing each other. And Jared Jones said, I'm not going to play that game with you, Ryan Geck. I'm going to go step on this bag. So that'll be the second out of the inning. That'll get Zach Henry over to second.
Yeah, speaking about that Sunday night match, I remember Rafael Devers got off to a slow start.
Yeah.
0 for 22.
I remember.
15 strikeouts.
It was bad.
And all he did in the month of May was the best hitter in the big leagues in the month of May. The numbers are right where you would think Rafael Devers' numbers would be. He didn't want to play third. Wanted to play third, and Bregman came along. And they just told him he was going to DH. And, of course, Casas got hurt, and they wanted him to go play first base. He goes, nah, I think I'm just going to DH.
That's right. Hard to get the bat out of his hands now. Ty Rhodes 0 for 3. and 2 now on Rhodes.
The way I look at that, if they're paying you $300 million, if they tell you to run water out to the pitcher between the 5th and the 6th inning, probably a good idea to do it.
miles an hour, sails up in the zone, and Hernandez walks out there. Hey, man, take that down from about a 12 to about a 9 for me if you could.
Kason Evans is hunting strikeout number 12 on the night for him.
2 and 2. Well, if he can get the punch out here, you just got a feeling this crowd will make a little bit of noise. No swing. It'll be full 3 and 2. Boy, that just missed outside. Good take by Rhodes. That was just off the plate by a fraction.
Yeah, he went right back to that splitter again, and I mean, it just missed. Had a little bit too much left to right in it, but a better take by Ty Rhodes. That ball stayed in the zone a long time before it trickled off the outside edge. Pitch count now at 86 for Kason Evans.
Jay Johnson.
Boy, Anthony Ianson.
Oh, boy.
We just pulled into the bullpen camera, and Anthony Ianson, the Saturday night guy for LSU through game 1 in this regional, has his spikes on and beginning to play catch.
Jay Johnson not messing around with this lead.
No, he's not.
Number 3 in the country in strikeouts. Pitched in relief in the SEC tournament. They piggyback Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson in the same game, which really should be outlawed.
That's not fair.
No.
You got the guy that leading the nation in strikeouts and the guy third in the nation, and you see them both in the same game. Good luck.
98 pitches in 7 2/3. Two outs in the inning. Tying run at second base. Go ahead run over at first. Cade Martin at the plate. He drove in the go-ahead run in the 9th inning to beat Eastern Illinois in the OVC title game. Went on to become the OVC tournament MVP.
And careful here in this 2-0 count too. He's been a breaking ball in there. Wasn't going to give in and give him a fastball. Not with that tying run in scoring position.
Boy, the sharpness just not there this inning for Kason Evans.
Yep, first 2 walks since he's been in the game. And working from behind a little bit more than what he wants to.
Little Rock also slowing this down a little bit. Have you noticed that?
Yep.
3-2.
See how much Kason Evans trusts that splitter right here.
And they are now loaded. It is getting very interesting in Baton Rouge. Cooper Chaplin coming up to the plates for Little Rock. The Trojan second baseman, 0 for 2, but was hit by a pitch and scored a run tonight. A .314 hitter with 7 home runs. That is second on this team, along with Angel Cano. Sticking with Evans. And that one's off. And the crowd letting home plate umpire Mike Morris hear about it. Base hit here, and Little Rock's got the lead.
And they are 3 for 9 tonight, runners in scoring position.
Two strikes. And here they come again. After 7, LSU leads it by 1.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Boy, Case and Evans, think he was fired up to get that third out and leave the bases loaded?
How about 12 strikeouts and 5 2/3 for the freshman? He has come in and stacked Ks and stacked zeros for LSU.
Chris Stanfield to lead things off. Stanfield today 0 for 3. His average down to .313. And he looks at a strike.
Now that one there hadn't been a strike tonight. It's been tight, but it's been pretty consistent from home plate umpire Mike Morris.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. And Stanfield is out on strikes. That is out number 1. The NBA Finals start Thursday night, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on ABC when the Pacers take on the OKC Thunder. Game 1 coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 8 o'clock. Thunder beat the Pacers in both their regular season contests, but boy, the Pacers sure look good against the Knicks. That was a fantastic series with Indiana and New York. Should be a fun NBA Finals beginning on Thursday night. Driven deep to left. Has Hernandez done it again? Yes, he has.
How about Luis Hernandez, folks, sitting in the 8 hole for LSU. Made out his first 2 at-bats, but his last 2 at-bats, how about home run number 8, home run number 9 on the year, and the senior catcher putting on a show here in Game 7 in the Baton Rouge Regional.
Pitching change in order for Little Rock. Luis Hernandez.
How about just a lean back on one, kid? Huh? It wasn't just a home run, folks. It was hit plumb out of the ballpark. LSU up by 2 here in the 8th.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
You can still leave. You still have a choice.
Cool.
Ballerina, rated R.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Maybe it's you.
Drive up that's ready when you are. Just tap Target.
This is you, rocking the block party, greeting the neighbors, and going all night. With cushioning from thousands of energy-boosting beads. That starts with new Dr. Scholl's 24-hour energy multi-purpose insoles. It starts with Dr. Scholl's.
Has had a record-setting season as they won 44 games. That's a school record in a single season. They are sitting there waiting to find out who their opponent is. Will it be LSU? Will it be Little Rock? LSU out in front of this one, 7-5. Rallied back from a 5-1 deficit, and the box is bouncing. There's a Trojan fan made his way in here. He's not afraid.
No, he's not. He's saying this thing is a long way from being over, and it certainly is.
Look at Grandma over there. Look at him like
she look at him. Look at him cross-eyed. She said, "Boy, sit down." There's Hunter Royal, the senior, making his 30th appearance of the year. He has been busy this year, and he's been busy in this regional too, making his 4th appearance in 5 games in this regional for the Trojans.
Here's Tanner Reeves. By the way, that home run from Hernandez, 102 miles an hour off the bat. Reeves 0 for 1. Pulls the bat back for a strike. It's 1-1. Yeah, we've gotten to know Luis Hernandez quite a bit this year, and part of that big transfer portal class that you talked about, that combined with the freshman class was the #1 recruiting group in the country. Brought in 12 Division I transfers, 4 JUCO transfers, and 10 high school signees. And Hernandez was a huge get for them.
Yeah, and he got off offensively to a little bit of a slow start. Remember, 23 home runs last year in Indiana State.
That one gets away from Martin, and Reeves will get to first. He'll take it.
Yeah, right now, if you're LSU, you want base runners and you want some insurance. That's what you want as we get late in this ball game.
Curiel back to the plate. He has reached base twice tonight via the walk, scored 1 run. Curiel with 6 home runs, 47 runs batted in. Curiel been playing some baseball on the international stage. He's a 2-time member of the 18U U.S. national team. 4-time high school All-American.
Well, that's why Hunter Royal was brought in, to face the left-handed Curiel. Look at Curiel's numbers against right-handers. He blisters them. Right-handed pitching, he hit .426 coming in, but only .218 versus left-handed pitching.
There's a strike, 2-2. Hunter Royal making his 4th appearance. He's become an everyday player out of the pitching staff.
Yeah,
First one.
4 games in a row.
Curiel goes on the check swing. Out number 2.
Really good slider right there by Hunter Royal. Lefty on lefty. This is a tough ask right here. That ball stayed in the zone a long time and just leaked it right off the outside edge. Well done by Hunter Royal.
Here is Ethan Fry, and what a game he has had. 4 for 4, a home run, a single, 2 doubles. Four runs batted in tonight. Fry now with 49 RBIs, 13 homers, and 13 doubles, and his average sits at .359.
Jay Johnson, if you missed it, head coach for LSU shook that lineup up tonight. Moved Ethan Fry from the 5-hole up to the 2-hole for the first time this year. And the results have been pretty good.
Yeah, he's raised his average 17 points.
This is a kid that did not have a home run his first 2 years on campus, but 13 of them this year.
You know, there's always a few guys around that you want to make sure when you're down on the field before a game taking BP, you want to stop and watch him take some swings.
And speaking of swings, don't be surprised if he's not got the green light special right here, 3-0. As hot as he is right now, if he gets a center cut heater, it could go for a while. Yeah, breaking ball. Hunter Royal knows.
See if he comes in with a fastball here. He does, and it misses. So Fry has reached 5 times tonight. And here comes Steven Monster Milam. He's looking for his first hit.
Does have an RBI to his credit tonight, but 0 for 4.
Milam, the only switch hitter on this roster for LSU. Two 2-0 for the young man out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. He had .326 last year with 8 homers and 12 doubles. It's Brady Cox making his way out to the mound, the pitching coach for the Trojans. Definitely going to give the stash of the regional to Brady Cox.
Yeah, it's pretty thick right there.
He said it's been tough trying to get that thing the way it normally likes. Been, you know, get this regional. He said he's not really worried about the grooming, kind of getting away from him a little bit.
Well, the humidity is not going to allow that thing to do what he wants it to do.
Well, we were just having a laugh before the game. And matter of fact, that team's been laughing all week. I mean, they you've said it over and over again. Playing with house money, and every opportunity was a bonus for this Trojan team. And the fact that they're here in Game 7 of this Baton Rouge Regional is
it's simply put,
amazing.
It's one of the best stories in college baseball this year. That's what it is.
Running out of outs, though, to catch up to this LSU team.
Yeah, and you feel like you're in the point in the game where Little Rock can't afford to give up another run. Time for Hunter Royal, who is on the bump for the Trojans, to draw a line in the sand right now with 2 out.
That one misses up, 3-0. Milam had a great regional last year in Chapel Hill. Made the all-tournament team there, as LSU came just a couple of outs away from upsetting North Carolina. That one misses inside. They are now loaded. And here comes Daniel Dickinson to the plate.
Now Hunter Royal's talking to himself. He is upset at home plate umpire Mike Morris. He thought a couple of those balls were strikes.
Here comes Chris Curry. He's going to go back to a right-hander, and boy, Hunter Royal right now is he just can't believe it.
Yeah,
he is. He's right about a 10. I would say he's right around that 10 level right now in terms of his anger. Bases loaded, 2 outs. We're in the 8th. Pitching change for the Trojans.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2, 3.
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Yeah, we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this, come on.
And it all adds up to one membership, the Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
Thank you, Scott. It has been electric here all weekend, as you might imagine. Postseason baseball and LSU go hand in hand, but they have been in a real battle with this Little Rock Trojan team that really nobody gave a chance. I mean, ultimately, they came in as a 243 RPI out of 299 teams, but yet they have been hanging with one of the best in America, a team that's been ranked #1 for about a half a dozen weeks during the regular season, including at the end of the regular season. And are a 6th national seed as they go back to the bullpen one more time.
Yeah, 4th reliever of the night so far for Little Rock. Gage Haley, the big fella out of South Haven, Mississippi, all 6'6", 280 pounds of him.
Oh, 0-2 on Dickinson. Maybe the transfer from Mississippi State. Didn't get a whole lot of work with the Bulldogs.
They only had one appearance with the Dogs last year. Only one inning pitch. Decided to transfer over to Little Rock.
Down in the dirt, Dickinson chasing it. And Little Rock getting off the field. And for the second time tonight, LSU will leave the bases loaded. But they pick up another run. Their lead is 2. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th. NCAA Baseball Championships presented by Capital One, and LSU has certainly come to play tonight after getting smoked last night 10-4 by Little Rock, forcing this Game 7. It's their 13th straight season in the NCAA tournament and their 37th time overall, trying to extend it to a super regional appearance against West Virginia. Kason Evans back out. 12 strikeouts, 3 walks.
96 pitches, 2 in relief, by the way. 5 2/3, 2 hits, only 3 walks, and 12 strikeouts. Struck out 8 in a row at one point.
Career high pitches.
Check that. Struck out 9 in a row at one point.
That was 6 off the NCAA record for consecutive strikeouts held by Arkansas's Hagen Smith, which he set last year. 15 in a row. Chopper foul off the bat of Angel Cano, who's 1 for 3 today. Singled his first time up. A little missile to left, and he has been something. Been fun watching this young man perform here in this regional all weekend. His mom and dad watching down at Cartagena, Colombia.
Yeah, watching him hit this weekend, you never would have bet he was hitting 213 when this regional began. It looked like a guy swinging that was hitting 350 all year long.
Been bothered by injury, still kind of played through it, but obviously hampered him at the plate. But we have been able to talk to him a few times this weekend, and just always smiling, enjoying the moment. I know his mom and dad enjoying watching down in Colombia all weekend as well. Boy, that one caught Hernandez grabbing that left shoulder.
That ball bounced up and got him in that left shoulder, what it looked like.
freshman Cade Arambidi is their number 2 catcher.
He's got that pad on the left shoulder, but I'm guessing, yeah, he got it right on the inside of that pad.
Couple of home runs tonight for that young man. And they were some moonshot home runs too now.
Yeah. Plenty of air under both of them. And both of them hit not just over the fence, but out of the ballpark.
Mr. Cano at the plate hit the scoreboard yesterday. Did not go. It'll be 2-2 on Angel Cano. Shot out to right field, and the hit machine just keeps on hitting. 2 for 4 tonight for Cano.
Gosh, can this kid hit?
He is now 10 for 22.
I don't know if he was on anybody's radar to get drafted next month, but I can tell you after this regional, he very well might hear his name called.
Sammy Harris steps to the box. Tying run at the plate now. Fouls that one off. Ianson and Chase Shores. Shores just sitting down to your right now. He was up throwing but taking a break for a moment. Ianson has been going for a while. I wonder how much longer this leash is for Kason Evans. One and 2 the count. Little chopper, that's a base hit over the glove of Reeves. Cano will stop at second base. And now the tying run is on base.
Boy, I tell you, the Trojans just keep on coming, man. And I love their 2-strike approaches. Look at that, just trying to put bat on ball, goes down and gets that ball, just pounds it in the dirt. A big hop off the dirt and over the third baseman, Tanner Reeves' head. So a first and second. No out situation here in the bottom of the 8th for the Trojans.
Reed Wilbanks now with runners at first and second.
And how much longer will Jay Johnson stick with the freshman Kason Evans?
Bunt laid down by Wilbanks. They're going to go to third and they get the lead out. A huge out for LSU.
Watch Angel Cano out at second base. If the bunt is on, he's got to get a little bit more than that right there. Ball on the ground and a little bit late break right there. And I'm going to tell you what, give the catcher, Luis Hernandez, all the credit on that one. You could see him out in front of home plate yelling at Kason Evans. 3-3-3-3. The play's in front of him. He could see the runner at second base. He gave the call, executed it perfectly, and Jay Johnson out of the dugout.
High fives for Kason Evans' performance tonight. LSU needed it and they got it. When he walks off this mound, there will be some sort of ovation for this young man, and well deserved. They are already starting.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
Businesses are the backbone of our communities. And Bank of America is the best bank for small and medium-sized businesses. With over 3,700 dedicated business specialists across the nation, we're on your corner and in your corner. Because when businesses prosper, communities thrive. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Contact one of our local business specialists at bankofamerica.com/local business.
Hello, hello, hello.
And it's pretty easy to pick out who we're going to spotlight. Kason Evans, who at one point been 9 straight strikeouts.
Yeah, I'll give you 2 guesses who it is, and the first one doesn't count. It is that kid right there, Kason Evans, the freshman. You talk about putting on a show, folks. 6 innings of work out of the bullpen, 4 hits, no runs, 3 walks, and a career high 12 strikeouts, a career high 109 innings pitched. And the freshman put on a show tonight for LSU.
You're looking at the arm of the future for LSU in Kason Evans. But the arm of now, one of the two, Anthony Ianson, along with his buddy Cade Anderson. But Anthony getting the ball now, Ben.
Yeah, out of UC San Diego, transfer, spent his first 2 years there. How about that strikeout to walk ratio? 132 strikeouts on the year. 3rd in the entire country in total strikeouts, and he pitched on Friday night, game 1 of this regional against his same team, the Little Rock Trojans. He went 7 2/3 of shutout baseball, struck out 7 on 98 pitches. If you don't know who Anthony Ianson is, fastball, slider, curveball, and a split. Fastball's a good one. It's going to be 92 to 96, but he does his work with the all-speed pitches. That slider, curveball, and split. The opponent's batting average on all 3 of them below 160.
Ground ball. Back up the middle. That's going to score a run. Oh, they've held him up at 3rd for a moment. The throw goes to 2nd. Hernandez is jumping up and down saying, "Get me the ball." Some miscommunication there, but Harris, despite the stoppage at 3rd, still gets in.
Well, check this out. You can see where Dickinson, the shortstop, is. He's kind of a little bit to the pool side, so just a bouncing ball gets up the middle. The brakes are put on, and then it starts again. A little bit of a hesitation. And, boy, look at Luis Hernandez at home plate. He wants the ball at home plate, but not in time. Watch this. Stop, start, go again. I tell you what, we got a 1-run ball game with the tie and run in scoring position with just 1 out.
Here's Zach Henry. That one stays inside. Henry 1 for 3 tonight. Has played a marvelous center field all week. I'd like to know how this Little Rock team finished the regular season with just 19 wins.
Yeah.
It's 3-0.
Yeah, this is Zions's only his 2nd relief appearance of the year. 16th appearance, 14 of them have been starts. His only other relief appearance was in the SEC tournament. You mentioned earlier he piggybacked in game 1 of the SEC tournament. Anderson.
Bat goes sailing over there in that LSU dugout. That'll be strike number 2. Jay Johnson over there having to
look out in the dugout, huh?
Dance around a bit. That's that new Marucci bat that everybody's playing with right now. That's the 2026 model. Of course, Marucci headquarters here in Baton Rouge. Both these teams, Marucci teams. So Little Rock goes over there. When they get to town, picked up a couple of new sticks.
That's the newest, greatest model. I don't even know if that one's on the market yet.
3-2. Runners at first and second in a one-run game here in the 8th.
When Anthony Ianson is on his game, he can land one of those 2 breaking balls just about whenever he wants to.
Called strike 3. Boy, this looked like it was inside.
Yeah, it was a delayed call by home plate umpire Mike Morris. We'll take a look at it here. Well, what made it look worse is you could see where Luis Hernandez, he set up on the outside part of the plate. When you see a catcher reach across, you automatically think it was a ball. But according to Mike Morris, it caught the inside part of the plate and a huge second out.
High chopper to third. Reeves fields. Long throw. Just got him, and the inning is over. But hold on a minute. Little Rock is going to challenge this one.
Well, that ball stayed in the air a long time. I mean, it hopped high again right in front of home plate.
Boy, if you're Coach Curry, you've got to make this challenge. Oh, and they got him.
He is going to be out.
Archibald Little Rock is challenging to call him out at first base. The play is under review.
Boy, Jared Jones used all of that 6'4" frame, stretching out as far as he can.
I mean, that looks like he got him by the slimmest of margins, but unless I'm missing something.
Yeah, he's out. I don't think there's enough there to overturn that one. Robert Nunez, first base umpire, got his nose stuck right in there, made the call.
All the players looking at the big board, seeing what we're seeing, and we'll wait on this announcement from Mike Morris, our crew chief.
After review of the call, the field of out is confirmed.
Had to take a chance.
Definitely worth a chance there.
Inning is over. Little Rock gets a run. We head to the 9th. LSU, the visitors, strangely here in Baton Rouge. Coming up.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
This Friday, the greatest action franchise reloads. Rated R.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
Being obsessed with taste means every ingredient has a purpose. Agave, water, yeast, nothing more. The world's most awarded tequila, proudly poured at the world's best bar.
Well, here are the teams heading to the Supers. We're the last game going right now, as earlier tonight Miami and Hattiesburg took down Southern Miss. They'll be paired up with Louisville. That'll be a fun Super Regional. Still waiting to see who West Virginia's going to face here in the Baton Rouge Regional. As we head to the ninth, LSU leads by a run at 7-6. Tigers with 9 hits. Little Rock with 6 runs and 8 hits. And if you're wondering why LSU here at home is the visiting team, it's based on how many times you have been the home team throughout the tournament, and whoever has trailed in that department gets to be the home team in this game 7. And you and I have talked about it. Hey, you work all year to be a 1 seed or the better seed. Game 7, you've earned the right, I would think.
You would think so.
To be the home team. But that's just not how it is. It's been this way for a while, but just something to think about.
Don't mean it's been right for this way for a while.
You got that right. Jake Brown, couple of hits tonight. Three and 1. Gage Haley, the big 6'8" right-hander who transferred in from Mississippi State. Trying to get 3 quick outs and get his club back in the dugout, grabbing their bats.
That's exactly what he needs to do here, a 0.
Boy, that thing is ripped, but foul. Jake not having any part of those new bats. He likes that old stuff.
He's got that thing broke in just the way he wants it.
Foul tipped in that one. Will catch Cade Martin, the true freshman catcher for Little Rock.
It almost looked like he got him on his throwing hand, too. Boy, it did. He's trying to hide that throwing hand. See, it's kind of off his right hip right there. But it got him.
Not taking that young man out of this game in the ninth. 3-2 on the way to Brown. That one misses, and a leadoff walk. And the speedy Brown over at first base. Well, the Women's College World Series, the championship series is set. An in-state rivalry, Texas and Texas Tech, as the Longhorns reach the championship series for the second consecutive year. Texas Tech is the 6th team to reach the championship final in its debut. No Oklahoma this year. Well, they had an unbelievable run.
Yeah.
Jared Jones. Jared 1 for 4. Jarrett leads this team with 19 home runs and 67 runs batted in.
Well, if you're Gage Haley, you can't let this one get away from you.
Andrew Pickering getting ready up there in the Little Rock bullpen, along with Josh Beasley. Or excuse me, that's Zach Busick, 20, not 21. Yeah, you want to speed up these games a little bit, Ben. We could shorten those mound visits.
Yeah. You know, of course, at the big league level, if you come in relief, you got to face 3 batters or finish the inning. That'd be one way. But as offensive as the college game is right now, I don't know if you want to give any more advantage to the hitters.
2-0 on Jones. Hammered. Deep left center. Gone. Jared Bear Jones.
Well, in one swing, the bear is out of hibernation. Don't poke the bear. Jared Jones been having a struggle as of late, but a 2-hit night for him and making home run number 20 and RBI number 69 and some insurance for LSU. Boy, how good did that must feel for that young man.
Chris Stanfield. Oh my God, you can see him running around the base paths, just kind of, the weight kind of lifted off his shoulders.
First extra base hit since May 17th for Jared Jones.
Well, that's been a while. That was 111 miles off the bat.
Yeah, that one was touched. Anything at the big league level hit 95 and above is considered hard hit. That one, 111.
4 home runs in this game for LSU. Chopper out to third. Rhodes fields and sails it. That gets into the camera well, so Stanfield will wind up at second base.
Boy, Little Rock had been playing some. I know the fielding percentage wasn't great coming in. Fielding .969 coming in, but they had been much better than that in this regional.
Yeah, .979 as a team. They had just 3 errors in their previous 4 games. They have 2 tonight. It is 9-6 now, LSU. Luis Hernandez trying to lay a bunt down.
He's like, come on, coach, I got 2 long ones tonight.
Boy, look at the size of his quads. I'm telling you, that is a big boy. who has hit 2 home runs tonight. Luis Hernandez. He has pushed his home run total to 9. Base hit. Stanfield coming around the corner, being waved home. Here's the throw. It's cut off. It's now 10-6 LSU.
Well, when you're facing a hot team, you just can't give them extra opportunities. Routine ground ball. Error was made. Puts another runner in score position, and a big night for Luis Hernandez. How about a 3-for-5 night for him? 2 homers, 3 RBIs, and LSU with some breathing room here tonight.
Tanner Reeves. Tanner 0 for 2. Here's Chris Curry out to the mound. I think he has seen enough. So LSU has put 3 on the board in the ninth. They've pushed their lead out to 4.
And a little bit of breathing room. The Bear gets into one, a 2-run shot for him. And then right behind him, Luis Hernandez comes up a line drive to left field, pushes home Stanfield. Tigers with a 4-run lead in the ninth.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2, 3.
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Yeah, we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this, come on.
And it all adds up to one membership. The Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
be in the Bronx as the AL East leading Yankees host the rival Red Sox, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and of course ESPN Radio. The pace we're going, we might be the lead-in for the Red Sox Yankees.
It's only 11:40 local.
We'll get you to SVP as soon as we can. We're trying, Scott. We're trying.
There is Josh Breesley pitching game 1 of this regional for the Trojans out of Australia. Fastball, slider, changeup.
(10-6) our score. Tanner Reeves ahead in the count, 2-0. There is a strike. Beasley has thrown 2 innings in this regional. Gave up a couple of hits, 2 strikeouts. Those 2 hits were both doubles. This one skied in the air. Anthony Ianson came in to get LSU out of a jam in the 8th. I'm assuming he'll run him back out there in the 9th.
You would think so.
From the looks of things.
There is no activity in that LSU bullpen right now.
High, deep, right center field, but not enough as Zach Henry catches up to it. Reeves just missed his 4th home run of the year.
I'm telling you what, when that ball left the bat, I thought it had a real shot at getting out of it. And Zach Henry has been busy out in center field. He's shaded slightly toward left center field. Watch this, a drop step, but he is off and moving, running wide open, and tracks it down right in front of the wall. That home run that Jared Jones did you see the effort that he gave? I mean, he went up on top of the wall and nearly robbed that ball.
Derek Curiel to the plate. Oh for 3 night, but a couple of walks for Derek. Struck out his last time. If LSU can hold on, they will host a super here against West Virginia out of the Big 12. West Virginia going through that Clemson regional.
Yeah, a lot of people had picked West Virginia to come out of that regional.
School record 44 wins this year. Slow roller, only play going to be over to first, but that is out number 2. And we get to see Ethan Fry one more time tonight.
I'm not sure the Trojans want to see him, but we're going to get to see him one more time.
A home run, a single, 2 doubles, and a walk tonight.
And he's going to pick up another walk, but they're not even going to pitch to him.
Don't blame him. So here's Stephen Milam to the plate now. I'll be interested to see how Jay Johnson moving down the road, if LSU can hold on to this 4-run lead in the bottom of the 9th, what this lineup will look like if they do indeed play West Virginia next weekend. He has shuffled the thing around tonight, and it had been pretty set for the most part.
Oh, it'd been really set. Yeah. I mean, Jared Jones been hitting in a 2-hole basically for 2 straight years. A little bit of a shuffling today, and it's paid off. And that's a pretty gutsy thing to do, to shake the lineup up for Jay Johnson with everything on the line in the Game 7. But he did it, and it's worked out.
Sharply hit by Milam. The right to Chaplin. So LSU adds a little comfort. 3 runs in the 9th. It's 10-6. Trojans trying to keep this postseason dream alive.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious. How to Train Your Dragon. Coming to theaters June 13th.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hello, hello, hello.
Get same-day delivery and text a personal shopper for last-minute additions. Just tap Target.
First ever NCAA tournament win this weekend, and rolled right into this Game 7 of this Baton Rouge Regional after what was just a disappointing finish to the regular season, but they won the OVC tournament. 5 games in 4 days. And regardless of the outcome of this one, as Chris Curry, the head coach, said, this has been a life-changing weekend.
Yeah, it has been fun to watch, to see a team that was just floundering. I mean, you lose 13 of your final 14 games. Tiebreaker got them into their conference tournament, and all they do is win 5 games in 4 days. Come here to the Baton Rouge Regional. Nobody gave them a chance, and I mean nobody gave them a chance really to even win a game. They lose game 1. Everybody said, yeah, Little Rock's going home. Well, turn around, and here they are in a Game 7. And Chris Curry has done a tremendous job with Little Rock this year.
Ty Rhodes, first one up here in the bottom of the 9th to face Anthony Ianson. That just misses 2-2. Swing and a miss down in the dirt. Out number 1.
Anthony Ianson can spin that breaking ball.
Cade Martin coming to the plate with 1 down. I mean, it's crazy these two teams meet. You just start thinking about the difference in their programs, the history of their programs. You've got clearly the premier program in the last 30 years in college baseball. High chopper. Dickinson fields, throws on the run across his body, and that is well done. This LSU team has the 2nd highest all-time NCAA tournament winning percentage. They're about to win for the 180th time. Meanwhile, Little Rock has 3 NCAA tournament wins.
But Little Rock if they can't come back and win it, they will be back in the NCAA tournament. There is no doubt about that.
Cooper Chaplin. Fouled straight back. It is 0-2. It has not been easy for LSU to get rid of the Trojans, but they have fought their way and are one strike away from moving to the Supers. And there it is. The Tigers advance to the 17th Super Regional in program history.
LSU is the 2025 NCAA Baton Rouge Regional Champion.
And the dream run for Little Rock comes to a close here at Alex Box Stadium. But a valiant effort by Chris Curry's club. They just ran out of steam.
Yeah, that one extra game, a little bit short on pitching. I tell you what, they gave LSU everything they could want. Got out early against LSU, got out to a big lead, but that LSU offense came back in a tremendous year for Little Rock.
Well, here are what the Super Regionals look like. Louisville and Miami, Texas, San Antonio, and UCLA, the Hogs and the Vols, Auburn and Coastal. North Carolina gets a little taste to Arizona, LSU and West Virginia. And Murray State, a 4 seed, will take on Duke. Oregon State and the Seminoles, that's what it looks like. 8 of those will make their way to Omaha in a couple of weeks.
Oh, the road to Omaha continues, Dave Neal. We're down from 64 to 16, and it's going to be a big weekend next weekend.
Yes, sir. A lot of fun this week, Ben. Enjoyed every minute of it. LSU advances to the Supers, 10-6, the final over Little Rock. For Ben McDonald, the rest of our exceptional crew, I'm Dave Neal saying so long, everybody from Baton Rouge. Here's SVP.
You can still leave. You still have a choice.
Cool.
Ballerina, rated R.
Fire it up.
The all-new Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper is here at BK. Bold, juicy, flame grilled, and ready for adventure. Experience a new kind of flame at Burger King. How to Train Your Dragon, coming to theaters June 13th.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
At Planet Fitness, there's a number of ways to get strong, and they all add up to one membership, the Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet, Planet Fitness.
Mmm, savory, juicy, and hold up. It's got Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning? Nice. Crispy, zesty, ranchy perfection. Hidden Valley Ranch, only serious about flavor.
Get a taco to go plus a big Q for $2.99.
Taco to go, taco to go, taco to go, taco to go. Taco to go, taco to go. And a big Q and a big Q. Taco to go, taco to go.
QT, more than a
taco.
You know, a special place for college baseball, but it becomes even more special in these environments. What's it like from a player's perspective when you get a crowd like you had tonight?
I mean, that's elite. There's no other place in the country that's got a fan crowd like we do. You know, they come out and support no matter what, whether it's a long day or, you know, early morning, they're going to be out here. And, I mean, it's just unbelievable to play in front of a fan group like this.
Listen, congratulations on the win. West Virginia coming here next weekend. Continued success.
Yes, sir. Thank you.